Hello everybody and welcome to another episode of Indie Insights. My name is Highsight and tonight we have a tank theme going on. We got 3 games submitted to us that are all tank themed. Now I don't even know where 60 Tons came from, but I got Lil Tanks first, and then almost immediately after that, Ballistic Tanks came along and asked me to check them out. And then 60 Tons shows up out of nowhere just as I'm talking with them about wanting some kind of a tank theme for do a tank theme night. And I'm like, oh, but I need a 3rd game. Didn't even go looking for it, didn't even ask. Suddenly 60 Tons appears. So we have 3 tank-based games to check out tonight, all with their own unique spin on the tank genre. It's not all just Worlds of Tanks up in here. No. We got Lil Tanks, which is actually a take on the shoot-'em-up genre using tanks. We've got 60 Tons, which is a little bit more along the lines of the World of Tanks style genre, 3D environment, 3D tanks, 3D kick-assery. And lastly, we have Ballistic Tanks, which is more of a top-down arena shooter where you play against your friends in multiplayer combat, or you do a single-player wave combat. I'm pretty stoked for this. It's going to be a fun time. Timing is everything. Timing really is everything. We have all 3 of the developers in here tonight. We have Kirk in here, who is the creator of Ballistic Tanks. We have Lead Money, Andrew, who's in here with Lil Tanks. And we have KCP Dad in here with 60 Tons. So I'm pretty excited to help these guys out, get them some feedback with my community, trying to help improve their games. As always, if you have any feedback of your own and you're watching this live and not on YouTube later, then at any time type !feedback and give us your feedback. That will all be recorded and given to the developers later. But if you're not watching us live, remember that we're live every 8 p.m. Eastern Time on Tuesdays, and we're always happy to have you. Come on by, give us the feedback for these devs. But for now, we're going to move on to our first game of the night, which is Lil Tanks. Now, this game was actually recently on Steam Greenlight. It was greenlit on Steam Greenlight, and I think it's really beautiful. I was actually really shocked to see this game, because anytime you ever see a shoot-'em-up game, a side-scrolling shoot-'em-up game, I, at least, always associate it with some kind of a space shooter. But this is completely different. This is all on the ground. You are a tank on the ground fighting against other troops on the ground. It's not something I really ever see. And that's pretty interesting. I'm pretty interested by that. Oh, they should bundle these games together. They can do an itch.io bundle. That'd be badass. But they are all very different, and that's very cool. So our first game of the night we'll check out right now by Lead Money Games. This is Lil Tanks. Now I'm going to play this with the controller. I'm pretty sure it works with controller, but if it doesn't, then I'm going to backpedal on that so fast. Let's see how it works out. But the visual style is very appealing for this game. In a weird way, it kind of reminds me of an old arcade game, which me likey. Me likey very muchy. Oh, okay, we start out and we're actually right in the action. There's no menu right now, it seems. So we had a tank move towards us, and that looked like it was a friendly tank. Now, X button to fire, it looks like. I'm on a PS3 controller, bear in mind. X to fire, square doesn't seem to do anything. But one thing I do notice is there's a little delay on the fire. When you press it, it doesn't immediately start firing. There's like maybe a half a second delay, maybe a full second. Let me time it. About half a second. So there's a half second delay before the firing starts. And I'm not quite sure why that is. Now, if I press circle, that's... ooh, I spawned out a little dude with lightning. Ooh, I think that's because I pressed circle. Yeah, it looks like it. Oh, didn't get out of the way quick enough. Mission failure. Restart. Ah, but I got some experience. So this game has some kind of RPG elements, and I'm interested to see exactly what those elements are. I'm interested to see how those are going to work out in the metagame. As I can see, my experience is all carried over from the last round. You can see right on the bottom right there, my XP bar remains unchanged. I'm probably just going to hold down the fire button because I don't want to run the risk of losing my spin-up, I guess you could say, on the shots. It's not really a minigun, which is why I'm confused why it takes so long to shoot out, but maybe there's an upgrade to fix that down the line. So I got the little electric guy. I'm going to save him for any kind of a boss fight that might be coming up. Now, if I do it right, it looks like my little tank buddy, he follows wherever I was previously. So if I use him right, I can get him into situations where I would be in trouble. And, ooh, look at that. Flame shot. Nice. So I almost got enough experience for a level up, and I'm very curious to see what kind of stats I'm going to get to play with. That's going to be a pretty big mainstay of all this. So how's the tank control? He controls pretty dang well, actually. I'm actually really happy with how he plays. I'm guessing the flame shot, although it doesn't go as far, does seem to have a lot more damage. So I got a level up, and it looks like it was a battery increase, so I don't get to choose my level ups, but they just kind of happen, and that might be good for this kind of game. You don't really want to bog down the gameplay itself with too many little things like a level up. Alright, I'm going to toss out one of my lightning bros. Ah, I got hit. But it's okay. It looks like I have some kind of a shield. Look at that. You can see it charging right next to my hearts. And if that's full, oh, that's a really cool mechanic. If it's full, then I don't have to worry about the first hit that happens to me. That's really neat. I like that a lot. So basically I can take one free hit and just let it charge up and then take another free hit. That's a neat system. I like that a lot. It kind of reminds me of Halo, in a way. Let's try the C. What's the C? Ooh, look at that. Ow! Okay, there goes my free hit. So this guy, he's a two-stage boss, basically. It looks like he fires out lasers, and he has these little arms that extend out and hit me. So is this it's a homing shot, kind of, isn't it? Look at that. It kind of goes into the thermal exhaust port right there. Kind of feel like I'm playing a Star Wars game, and for Death Star's little exhaust port, you know how it does that weird little lean into the exhaust port at the end? That's what I feel like right now. I feel like I'm just targeting inward, and it's doing the rest. Yay, smart weaponry. We should just send a missile. Why do we have to kill so many pilots? But I'm getting off track. How does it feel? Well, it all feels pretty good, but I will say, whenever I get hit, I don't really feel the impact. There's no real sound effect that seems to go with the process of getting hit. It feels a little off, honestly. I would love to see, like, the screen shake. I would love to see my player flash. There's a lot of things I'd like to see to kind of improve the experience of the getting hit process. A nice sound to go with it, that kind of stuff. But we'll keep going. We'll see what happens. One moment. So yeah, the mini rip, rather the mini explosion or something like that, they all look good on the enemies, but there's really nothing that happens when I get hit. That would be a nice little piece of polish I think you could do. But the music, oh, listen to this music. This is some beautiful music. I don't know where you got this music, man, but I love it. I love everything about it. Oh, it's so... It feels old school, but newish, which is the exact opposite of what old school sounds like, so there you go. It's got those hard riffs, well, those hard techno riffs. Wide shot, nice. And these enemy designs are really solid. I love the graphical style of this whole thing. The environment looks distinct from the enemies, so I don't really find any enemies that tend to blend into the environment. And that's super important for a game like this. You need to know at all times what's dangerous and what's not. So good work in that regard. I love those laser flashes. They look so legit. Lightning dude! Yeah, look at that. That looks so cool. But I took a hit. I only got one more. Warning! Do I still get a charge up? Do I still get my shield? Uh-oh. It doesn't look like it's charging up, or if it is, it's like not really... So after you take a hit, you don't get the shield back? That's dangerous. There goes your freebie. So once you get hit once, you basically have one more hit and you're dead no matter what. That's a little unfortunate. And I don't know if there's any real way to reclaim health. I don't see any kind of power-ups, aside from the weaponry power-ups. LT. That's lightning, right? Little tank? LT, little tank. That makes more sense. Because it looks like that one's a fire, dude. There we go. So, I think I'll stick with the wide shot. See how it plays out. Oh, that is a cool looking flamethrower. Oh, I like him. I'm gonna die. How do I dodge that? Ooh, good. Just enough space. Oh. You might want to get a little more warning that that's coming. Oh, you know what the warning is? I think I see what the warning is. You can see what direction he's facing. That's so cool. Look at that. He spins, and then one of the faceplates, it stops on one of the faceplates, and then you know what's coming. That's a really cool system, actually. I like that a lot. Oh, look at those missiles. Are those mines? Yeah, those are mines. What I like so far is I haven't really found a situation where I have to take a hit. So far, it seems like I've been able to dodge everything. Ah, doesn't mean I will, but it means I can. Very cool. Experience gained. Now, you might want to get some kind of a bar or something. So, when I level up in the middle of a mission, I don't necessarily notice the level up because I'm doing so many other things, you know? It might be a good idea that you set it up so at the end of the mission, you can actually see everything that you've accumulated since the mission started. So if you got like a level up and that's like plus battery or something like that, then you have a perfect spot right here to let them know just what they earned. They got plus battery. They got all that stuff, you know, plus battery, plus health, whatever you might get. Just line them up there with little icons right underneath that mission failure right there. Boo, boo, boo. All the level ups. All the cool looking level ups. That's what I would recommend. I'm getting some notifications that the stream's getting a little laggy. Hopefully that's resolved now. Oh, but we start back at stage 2. Okay, now that's interesting. I thought for sure you were going to have me start off at stage 1 again. So it's almost like a progressive thing. Like if I just keep going, eventually I'll make it through no matter what. And that's actually pretty kind. I was kind of expecting this to be more arcade style. But it looks like it is more along the lines of you want us to progress. You want us to reach the end. It's not a roguelike. It's more of a just adventure game, I guess you could say. Now, I rarely say that lives should be in video games, but I take that back when it comes to arcade games. I said that lives exist for the arcades because lives make sense for arcades. That's so, people could shove in more quarters for your game and you get more money and all that stuff. That made total sense at the time. But if you're making a game that's styled around being an arcade-style game, lives make sense at that point. It makes sense to be like, okay, so you get 3 shots to get through this, and you can get more lives if you excel, if you go above and beyond. Not so much if you get quarters, because, there's no quarters to insert in my computer as far as I know. Oh, but I can make so much money. But anyway, I would say that this might be a prime contender for a game that could utilize lives in a decent way. Or at least a score system. That's another thing that arcade games like to do. They used to have a score system that even if you died and you continued, you would usually lose your score and start at the very beginning. Well, the beginning of your score. You'd have a 0 score to start off with, and then you'd continue where you were. So you wouldn't be able to make the high score leaderboards or anything compared to people who make it all the way through without dying. So it was kind of a good system. For a game like this, I don't know. If you want to do online leaderboards, I'd say that'd probably be a good system. Have to go through one whole time if you want to have the highest score. Makes sense. Yeah, this is a Game Maker developed game, and it works quite well. Now, one thing I will say is I'm not feeling super engaged right now, and maybe that's just because the enemy types are so simple right now, but mostly I don't have too much to worry about. There's not a lot of instantaneous shots. They're all very much based around projectile speed. So if you see it coming, you're good to dodge it. But there are a few beams. You guys have seen the beams. Like, look at that. Look at how slow that projectile speed is. It's not that that's bad, but it is that I could stand to see more beams that coincide with the projectile speeds, which could end up producing more varied and challenging enemies, Because right now, it's mainly just a game of dodge the really slow-moving projectiles, and there's not enough on the map to justify it being that challenging. Especially if I have the free shield. I do like this boss a lot. That's actually really clever. The spinning box and the little patterns on top, telling you what the next thing is, so you have to keep an eye on him as opposed to just keeping an eye on the road ahead of you. That's neat. Alright, so he regenerates his shields when he does that. Oh, almost got hit by that one. The shield system's definitely cool, but I feel like it is just a smidge out of place, considering if you get hit once, you can't get a shield anymore. That is pretty rough, I must admit. Oh, nope, not there. That was a bad place to be. So right now, I have a much lower chance now of winning than I did a second ago, just because I got hit after I lost the shield. Ah, but I still got it. And a level up, +1 battery. I'm not 100% sure what the battery is, though. That sounds like a health thing, but it's not. But God, this music is so beautiful. Oh, I love it. It's also fitting and fun. Outstanding work on the music design. And the visual design. In general, the sound design is really good, too. In particular, one thing I want to point out, the pew pew pew, that sound, it's not overly annoying. It doesn't really distract that much. And it's important that you do that with a sound that you're going to hear a lot. So, mainly gun sounds. You're going to hear gun sounds a lot in any kind of shooter game. You need to be very careful with what sound you choose. What I would recommend, though, you might want to look into the possibility of modulating that sound, right? You might want to consider having it set up so every shot has a slightly different pitch, or at least you have different alternations on the sound, so you're not hearing the same one sound over and over again. As it stands right now, it's really not that annoying. I don't mind it that much at all. But you will bring a lot more variety to your sounds if you just have some kind of a difference to it, especially if you get a power-up, right? Like, this particular shot shouldn't sound the same as the other shot. You're going to want to try to make that somewhat different sound. But I will say, for the sound effect itself, it's kind of dulled. It's in the background compared to the explosions. It really doesn't override every other sound going on around it, and that's really important for something you're going to hear consistently. Oh, and I'm going to die. I'm going to die. I lost my shield. I needed that for living. Okay, just dodging. Just dodging. Gotta dodge the projectiles. Now we're getting to a point where the projectiles are getting dangerous just because, there we go, you see? Now we're entering bullet hell mode. That is a very important mode for any game to have. I love me some bullet hell. Oh, and there it goes. Deads. Love it. And that's a nice little somber sound to go out on, too. That music, that kind of just... What would you call that? Would you call that almost spacey? Which, again, kind of fits the fact that every space shooter that I know, every side-scrolling shooter that I know, tends to be some kind of a space shooter. So it's kind of interesting that you choose that. These backgrounds and the parallax scrolling in the background, they look really cool. I do like that look a lot. And you even have a little foreground, just kind of mix it up a little bit. It's enough to really lend to the environment a nice look, but not enough that it's distracting. This foreground isn't distracting at all because although it is in front of everything, I can't actually go underneath it. So that's pretty solid. I mean, except for like right there where it's really big. It's really just kind of there, you know? It's not really interrupting anything. It just adds a nice little visual appeal. The actual area in which the game is played is very nicely laid out, and it's very clear how far I can go. Oh, we got, oh boy, Yokos with the big feedback, and me with the focusing on not dying. Let's see if I can do 2 for 1 right here. Learn from Toyo/Gungeon/Undertale. Everybody loves beautiful bullet patterns. Oh, definitely. I love me some really intricate bullet patterns. Like the guy who was spinning up ahead. They looked really good. So, oh, dodge those. But yeah, like that. That is like the most beautiful bullet pattern I've seen in this entire game so far. But he goes on to say, even if it's not harder, you could have 3 bullets instead of 1 that look more... Oh, don't want to lose my shield. 2 for 1 here. Okay, let's see. That look more... Oh, I lost my place. No. You got 3 bullets instead of 1, and it can look more appealing visually and visually interesting on the first 2 levels and still be easy. Definitely. I would say you don't have to have a really hard, complex bullet pattern to make it look good. You can make a really good-looking bullet pattern without having to worry about it being too hard. It's just a question of adding more in, but maybe making them smaller, maybe making them shoot off-screen even, so there's no way they could reach you. Like if they just shot straight upward, like right there. How dangerous is that cross pattern really? Unless I'm actually moved forward, not that dangerous. But you know what it does do? It looks badass. I'm gonna go with the wide shot. I think wide shot's the way to go.
Hey, listen.
I like the little danger there too. Let's see. Good job making the projectiles visible against the background. Absolutely. Everything is very clearly defined. I can tell what the enemies are. I can tell what the projectiles are. I can tell what I need to dodge. Like, I know that lava's bad, but I guess I touched it anyway. I actually thought I was in the safe zone, but I wasn't. And, that... Okay. Just as I say that, I died to something that I didn't realize was bad. I don't know why, but if you actually look at that lava very carefully right there, it might be kind of tricky to see. That lava that was spread out like that... For whatever reason, it didn't click in my mind that that was bad lava, the one that's kind of in the diagonal shape right there. That just kind of looked like... It kind of blended in with the lava cracks that are going on in the entire level, and that kind of threw me off a little bit. I think it has something to do with the color being slightly different. Not massively different, but just enough, you know? That does matter. The little bit does matter. So we'll try one more shot at this. And what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to utilize my little tank buddy right here. I'm trying to get him in places that are too dangerous for me. But he can't really get hit, so I don't care. There you go. That's where like the advanced gameplay comes in, and that's where I can see you setting up some really crazy, tricky things. Have situations where you just peek in for a second, and then he takes care of the rest just by leaving that area. That's a neat idea. So far these little tank dudes, the little tank power-ups I've been getting, I've been noticing that I only really tend to save them up for boss fights. And I don't know if that was part of the intent or what, but doesn't that kind of defeat the purpose for getting them so early on? I mean, I guess you could use them anywhere, but it seems like they're most effectively used towards the end, except I'm going to use one right now, because I'm going to try to dispel that notion. I'm going to try to prove that it's a good idea to use them in other situations so you don't lose your shield. Which I'm realizing now more and more is probably a really good system. The idea that you really, above all, want to protect that shield. Because if you get hit twice, you are at such a massive disadvantage. So you need to make sure you approach the boss with some kind of a shield. Now, one thing people that are watching won't be able to see is that every time that guy thumped the ground, I'm sure you saw that enemy up there that thumps the ground, it was actually vibrating my controller, and that's a nice little effect. I love it when people do that for the controllers, just little effects like that. It looks neat. And we got another piece of feedback here from our Patreons. Let's go ahead and try not to die, not to lose this shield. Where he says, consider using projectile... Oh, hang on. Projectile effects. No, don't want to die. Oh, God. I got wombo comboed. Consider using projectile effects instead of a sprite for explosions. It's weird when every explosion looks identical, and that is something that Game Maker does excel at. It does a wonderful job of trying to make, or of being able to have good particles in 2D. So, in terms of longevity for this game, that is something I always want to try to examine for video games in particular. Now, this is very much, like I said, an arcadey style adventure game, and that's totally fine. But if you're going to go for longevity, you're going to have to introduce some kind of competition, and I wonder if this game has any kind of procedural generation for its levels. As far as I've been able to tell so far, they seem pretty similar every time I play it. It seems like I'm always getting the same level for the most part. But I feel like if it does not have procedural generation, it totally could. And in addition, leaderboards would definitely be a great way to get people hooked on Steam to try to make sure that they get the best score, you know what I'm saying? That'd just be a little thing. Now, I also noticed that every time that those power-ups come out, the wides, the homing shots, the flamethrower shot, I've noticed that all three of them come out at the same time. That is a little odd, because then I get to choose, right? It's not so much that I'm on a forced path. It's more that I get to choose what I want every time. That's okay. I mean, that's not a big deal. It's just, it seems like you're giving a lot of choice to the player, and eventually what's going to happen is they're going to choose one that they like a lot. Like, you've noticed I've been taking the wide shot a lot, because I always like shotguns. So, I don't know if I'd even touch the other ones, honestly. It seems like that's the one that's helped me the most throughout the game. Maybe I'll try another one for a different situation. Hell, maybe this time I'll try something different. But I'm not entirely convinced that people are going to break away from what they find their favorite one to be. And that might be a bit of a loss for people trying out new things. Alright, give me something good. Alright, let's see. We'll try a different one. We'll try the flamethrower for this one. I'll have to get in a little closer, but we'll be able to kill him a lot quicker. And that might be most important in this particular level. Or I'll just die. Alright, we're gonna get... I know I said this before, but we're gonna give this one last shot. When I said one last shot before, I wanted to try to make it to the boss, but if I can't make it again, then we're gonna have to call it there, I think. But in terms of the polish, there's a high level of polish. The only thing that, again, I do kind of worry about, that I do kind of wonder about, is longevity. I am very curious where this game is going to go in terms of keeping the player interested past the first playthrough. But yeah, this game absolutely looks great. It looks wonderful. The developer has done a wonderful job with the visual polish. The sounds are good. I'd say this song's a little weaker compared to the last one. It seems a little more bassy and in the background because you're hearing so many explosions already that the bass is kind of overshadowed by the explosion sounds, you know? But it is there. It sounds a little more hip-hoppy. You hear that? And I need to shoot. Oh boy. Oh boy. Oh my. Oh no. Don't want to lose the shield. Oh, I already lost it. But I will say that is one thing to definitely look into, is try to make it more visually obvious that you got hit. As far as I've had so many situations where I didn't even realize that my tank got hit because it doesn't really, the controller doesn't even vibrate as far as I could tell. Keep an eye out for that. Try to find a way to make it more visually apparent that there has been a hit taken, you know? I mean, shake the screen a little, maybe blink the tank a little bit, just give them a little invulnerability. Might help out with the situations where they're getting wombo comboed. Stuff like that. But other than that, this game is definitely on a very solid path. I'm very happy with how it's going so far, and I definitely want to see more of this. I want to see this as it progresses with more enemies, more bullet patterns, cooler looking effects, maybe even look against some bullet velocities. I tell you, Yokos is a great guy to talk to when it comes to bullet velocities. He will tell you so much more about bullet patterns than that he's forgotten more about bullet patterns than I've ever known. Let's put it that way. Guy's kind of a genius when it comes to bullets. So definitely check that out, or check him out. But thank you so much for the submission, Andrew, of Lead Money. That was Lil Tanks by Lead Money and Games, and that is actually going to be out on Steam soon. So let's go ahead and take a look at the feedback while I do a little giveaway for you guys. Now, I got a few Humble Bundle giveaways for you guys because I'm running out of keys, unfortunately. But we have Dive Kick tonight. If you guys want a chance to win Dive Kick while I go over your feedback, we're going to go ahead and do a giveaway of that. So type ! giveaway and get your chance to win. All right, so let's go ahead and look at this feedback, shall we? Let's see. First up, we have New Bruce, who says, seems like if you made it auto fire and maybe a few other things, it could be a great mobile game. Ooh, I didn't even think of that. Or you just have to steer the tank. I mean, it seems like a fun PC game, but it's a bit simplistic. Yeah, I could see this actually. I don't want to limit your options here. I mean, you're definitely going to want to release this for Steam, especially if you got greenlit. But it could be an excellent piece, an excellent mobile game as well, because as New Bruce said, if it had auto-firing, all you'd have to do is steer the tank, and then, you know, you'll hit whatever you hit. That's an excellent point, honestly. I could definitely agree with that. You have a little special button somewhere to release the big tank, or the little tanks that deal the extra damage. I could see that. I really could. You got some good boss patterns there. You got some good design there. It's definitely something that I could see the mobile audience going crazy over, for the graphic style alone. Mobile audiences love that kind of graphic style nowadays, and that speaks highly of the graphic style, trust me. Yoko's here. What do we got? Yoko says, enemies that shoot in all directions should be timed so that they shoot at least once when they are near the back of the screen. That way, the player is punished for not killing them because they'll be shot from behind. I mean, maybe for the later levels, but you don't want to be that harsh flat out in the beginning. And of course, you want to make sure you give the player at least some chance to dodge them if they didn't shoot them, because it might just be a situation where you couldn't get to them because there were so many other enemies you had to take care of, you know what I mean? If you don't take a certain shot, you might be kind of screwed there. So I could see that as a certain enemy type where it shoots like forward and backward at the same time, and a beam, and you just got to dodge the beam. That I could see. That I could see. So there's that. And what else we got? So next up, we have New Bruce, who also says, the art drew him in right away when he noticed the Twitter a while back, and it looks amazing during play. Love the unified style and the unique enemies. Couldn't agree more. The art was the first thing I saw and the first thing that really, really got me interested in this game. I think that you did an excellent job with that art style. It looks outstanding. So well done. So well done. New Bruce also says, nice death explosion. He also says, we would like to see some more destroyable objects. Ooh, I like that. Debris or fallen trees or boulders and environmental hazards. Ooh, I really like that, New Bruce. You can try to blast through them or dodge them or ram them, though you might take a bit of damage. Well, there's not a lot of middle ground for a bit of damage in this game, is there? That'd be a lot of damage to take if you rammed them and lost them. But I could definitely see even enemies maybe hiding behind trees or something. I'm going to give you some bits for that one, New Bruce. I like that one. So I'm going to give Bruce... Let's give you a 10 for that. I like that, bro. There you go. See, that's how you do it, Andrew. Go ahead and follow Andrew and Lead Money Games right there at their Twitter, which is twitter.com/leadmoneygames. Go check them out. Next up, New Bruce also says, love the dithering on the caldera. Caldera, I know that word. More dithering, please. Parallax backgrounds and foregrounds are all awesome. You like the more subtle smoke or fog over the battlefield, too. It is really well put together. As he said before, the unified art style really does hit a home run for this game, and it's something that's going to pull everybody in who sees it immediately. Anyone who sees this is going to absolutely love that style. I loved it. It pulled me in immediately just by seeing it. I thought it was really well done. Just wonderful. New Bruce also says, it's absolutely fantastic how the tile set gets more and more volcanic as the volcano erupts and the magma flows the further you get in. Amazing detail. I definitely agree. You could definitely see like little cracks expanding, and you could start seeing like swirls of cracks and stuff. It definitely was really cool. But again, you got to watch out for that part where I couldn't really tell the difference between the dangerous volcano magma and the normal volcano magma. You know what I mean? Something to watch out for. Oh, apparently it's Lead Money Games. Mobby. It is spelled lead money, so you can see my confusion. Sorry, bro. Mobby. At least that's what I think all the E's mean. Welcome, Judge Dredd. How you doing, sir? So just a reminder, if you want a chance to win Dive Kick, type !! giveaway. It's a wonderful minimalistic fighting game that we checked out in the past. Highly recommend. New Bruce also says the perspective is mixed, and that's okay, but you need to see... but what you see is that the foreground and backgrounds are basically 3/4 isometric perspective, and so are all the enemy tanks. The battleground is basically a top-down, though, and you believe the control plays like it's top-down. Just make sure the stuff like blast marks and craters and stuff are on the ground, all follow the same perspective as the ground. Yeah, I did kind of notice that too. It looked like the tank was, as a whole, one giant collision box, and that's kind of dangerous if there's no like top for it, I guess you could say. So you did have to dodge a little bit more. You didn't really have any kind of a back layer that couldn't be harmed. Basically, if the tank in any part touched anything bad, you were in trouble. So it did kind of pull away a little bit from the three-dimensional view of it, but I think it kind of worked out on the whole. And lastly, Yokos, with the feedback that we just gave, says enemies will that shoot in all directions should be timed. Yeah, definitely agree. Alright, so that was some good feedback. Thank you so much for everyone who gave feedback, particularly New Bruce and Yokos. As always, if you guys have any feedback that you'd like to talk about at the intermission, as we're doing right now, type !feedback plus your message, and not only will the bot record it, but the feedback will go to the developer after the stream. So it helps out everybody. Alright, so I'm just going to go ahead and... Doop. If you'd like to submit your game for future Indie Insights, you can go ahead and check out my link there, highsight.tv/Indie Insights. Did you guys know that I have a website? Highsight.tv. That's highsight.tv. You can check out there to learn all the newest stuff that's going on. Particularly, that's where I do my Indie Insights announcements. And hopefully, I'll be doing more blog posts there in the future. I'm also working on a mailing list for Indie Insights that I'll be setting up in the future. We'll try that out, see how that plays out. But yeah. As always, I want to thank you guys for your support, but we have our next game, 60 Tons, soon. I know that a few people around here are probably going to be joining in for that, so that's going to be a good time. But let's go ahead and wrap up our giveaway here. Last call on the giveaway. There's everything. Thank you, Yokos. You can follow me on all those social channels. Type giveaway to try to win. And while that happens, I'm going to take a little drink. Now, some of you might notice that there was a little bit of lag earlier, a little bit of choppiness, as it was said. I confess I have no idea what was causing that. It really should not have been happening, because I actually, just yesterday, doubled my internet upload speed. I got it from 5 megabytes to 10 megabytes a second. 10 megabytes a second. Yeah, that's it. Megabits, rather. So I was hoping that would solve some problems. I've also kind of downed my rate a little bit. Well, I've also upped it. It's kind of complex. But basically, I'm running at 720p now, 60 FPS instead of 1080p 30 FPS. So the stream should look smoother on the whole. It should also look a little better. But I was hoping that the upped internet would result in less choppiness. So if you guys see choppiness, please let me know. There's not much I can do about it right now. I've done everything I can in my power, and I hope that in the future it will just all work. But we'll have to see how that plays out, won't we? Hey, thank you so much for the follow. The Big Usaf. Usef? The Big Usef, thank you so much. Alright, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Dive kick! And the winner of Dive Kick is... Lead Money Andrew. Congratulations, sir. Look at that, you see? Totally not rigged, I swear, but that's just lucky right there. That's just freaking lucky. Congratulations, bro. You have just won a copy of Dive Kick, an absolutely outstandingly fun little minimalistic fighter game. Very simple, 2 keys, kick people's asses. It's a lot of fun. Hope you enjoy it, buddy. Thank you so much for the submission. Love ya. So that was for Dive Kick, but don't worry, we have some other games to give away tonight, so we'll be doing those at the other intermissions. An icon! I know, right, New Bruce? It actually worked. I told you, my bot has a cool feature, but nobody ever sees it. Boom! Lead money. Sorry. I mean, it's spelled lead money. I can't... You guys always yelling at me that I'm not reading things right. I'm actually reading it right for once, and you're yelling at me still. Oh, I love it. Alright, so ladies and gentlemen, our next game tonight is 60 Tons. And that does not imply my weight, but it is actually a first-person style tank game that I'm going to try to enter as blindly as I can. As you guys know, I love to enter my games as blind as humanly possible. I don't know exactly what I'm going to be expecting, but I can tell I'm going to get my ass kicked by a lot of people in the community. So I surrender ahead of time, but I'm going to die anyway. Let's see if I can at least figure out what goes on, because remember, this is going to be from the experience of a new player. So this is basically a new player coming into your game and checking it out, and we'll see how quickly I can pick up on it. Now, I have not done any tutorials. I have not done any kind of I haven't looked at the controls. I haven't done much anything. This is just me trying the game and seeing how it goes. So we'll try that out. All I've done so far is I've registered a nickname, and it looks like we got some people on. So this is a full-on online game. There's no single player as far as I can tell, which is totally fine. What I will do is, because it is here, I will check out the help button, and we have a little bit of a help message right here, which is about the credits, the game controls, which are probably the most helpful thing and should probably be the first thing, honestly. If in your help, you always want to make sure the helpful stuff is up top. So definitely replace about with game controls, I would say. Hell, about should probably be last. Lobby, what's that even? Oh, it's an IRC client. That makes sense. Fair enough. So let's go ahead and look at the about here, the help. So F2, F12, don't care about either of those buttons. Tank movement. You move with the arrow keys, and the turret is moved with the WASD keys. Center with X. Caps lock for precision aiming. Can I use my mouse to aim the turret, I wonder? Because that would be intuitive. But I don't know if you want to be too intuitive with this game. This seems like it wants to be pretty hardcore. So the guns. There are two types of guns. There's the artillery gun and the energy guns. You can have more than one gun in your inventory, but only one gun can be active at a time. Press spacebar or left mouse button to fire whatever gun is active. Okay. Use tab key to cycle through your guns. The artillery gun fires shells. There are three types of shells. There's the Hegel, Hegosiv, and burrowing shell. I mean, these don't seem like real words, but I don't know my tank terminology well enough to dispute them, so there you go. And energy guns, which is the fat ion beam cannon, lovely. The thin ion beam cannon, ooh baby. The ion beam enhancer, which increases the firepower of either of them. The pulsed energy gun and the photon burst gun. They all have their own different things. Then there's rockets, which I assume are shot out of the... there's two turrets. The artillery gun, I assume. Wow, there's a lot to learn right here, and there's different buttons. Oh, there's no switching. Each rocket type is fired with a different key. Oh, wow, okay. So what are the keys? Let's look at that. I, G, V, B. These are a little all over the place, honestly. Y, F, and H. We're gonna talk a little about control schemes, I think, as we play. I think that's gonna happen. Let's just roll with it. Let's roll with it and talk a little about control schemes as we go, because this is a lot to take in, and intuitive controls are super important for any kind of game. Now, I can totally see if you're trying to make your game like as tough to control as a real tank, and I get that. But we are kind of doing a power fantasy here. I mean, if you're trying to do a simulator, then I can respect that, but it is what it is. So, looks like I'm here, and I can move left and right with left and right. And I can look up and down with W and D, S, and A and D to look left and right. And what I do like is you can actually see a little model of your tank right underneath, right above my health and armor, right over there. Kind of cool. Oh, there's definitely a learning curve, but there's nothing necessarily bad about a learning curve. Now, let's see what we can do. So, I'm going to have a lot to get used to here. This is first-person perspective, so I'm going to have to get used to having my tank... My turret controls and having my other controls. Alright, I see Yo Ma. And let's see if I can aim and click and shoot. Oh, well, I am rolling far too fast. I'm just going to try to hit a stationary target if I can. Boy, this is super tough, though, because I don't have a lot of preciseness. Now, if I hold caps lock, does that help? I think that was the precision aiming. Doesn't seem to help all that much. I guess I can try to move and then drive by. Nope. That didn't work. Well, I could have sworn... Okay, so what is cool is there's an acceleration style thing. So it doesn't... I don't have to keep holding up to go up. I just set the acceleration and let it go. That's pretty solid. Okay, so let's pop right here. I think this is a capture point. Oh, it's a pit stop. Uh-oh, I think I got a dude behind me. I don't know if he's friendly. Abandoned ship. Is he green? If he ain't green, I'm scared. Nah, he ain't green. That's Yo-Yo Ma. He's back for more. So I thought the fire button was spacebar. So tab is to switch, right? No, I am not currently reading Twitch chat as much because I'm trying to just figure out how to not die, but I am reading the in-game chat at the moment. Okay, square. Hit square. Or go to the square, hit enter. Ah, gotcha. Go to the square, hit enter. So let's go to the square. Let's hit enter. Okay, I'm in the square, and I hit enter. Oh, hello. Oh, so it's pit stop so I can actually customize my tank. Okay. Wow, look at that. That is really a lot of choices. Let's see. So how many slots I have? I have 9 empty slots. I have configuration of 1. So my main question then, starting out, should this be something that you can do when you first enter, instead of having to do this in the match itself? Because it seems like if you can set this up ahead of time, it might save you a lot of hassle just figuring out that this is the first thing you have to do. As a new player, it's super important that you can easily understand what you're doing within the first 15 minutes of any video game. Most important and crucial time for the player, because this is where they're going to determine how much they enjoy this game. So I'm going to try getting an artillery gun. Let's get a rocket launcher. Why not? Looks like they take up 2 slots each. Or am I just clicking twice and that's adding twice? No? Okay. Max damage rocket, just what it says. Fair enough. Load config. Oh, you know what? Let's just load this config. There we go. So we'll try this guy. Shield, shield boost, extra battery, fat ion beam gun. Okay, so it looks like we're running the ion beams. Okay, so now I have a weapon, right? So let's see. Ah, there we go. That looks promising. So fire button space, that's good. Now the fire button is also the left click mouse button, but the mouse button itself, or the mouse itself, doesn't really seem to control anything. It doesn't seem to control where the tank's looking. And I don't know. I feel like that's a real missed opportunity myself. I feel like it's... I feel like if I'm going to be able to click to shoot, I'd like to be able to aim too. I mean, there's a lot of advantages to using the mouse instead of the keyboard to aim, right? If you use the mouse, you have a much finer control over where you're aiming. And that can be super important. That can be vital, even. I mean, in the past, a long time ago, story time, everybody, a long time ago, I used to play Quake 3 Arena as a kid, and I used to actually use my keyboard to aim. And it worked. Surprisingly, it worked, but it was definitely a lot harder than when I learned how to use my mouse to aim. No question about that. And it ended up that I was good at something for a while that I really didn't need to be good at. It just kind of, it ended up being like, why didn't I just use the mouse in the first place? So I can switch between weapons. So let's see. Maybe I might be missing a button. So what's M do? Because I think I saw something about M. Oh, okay, don't press escape. That just tells me that I can quit the game with a certain button. So I kind of want to shoot this guy, but he seems like he's not hostile to me at the moment. So what is the objective of this particular match? I mean, it looks like it's deathmatch, right? I got kills and a deaths and a score. How many people are in the game right now? Well, I see a lot of people in chat. There's no, like, scoreboard or anything, so I don't really know how many people are here. I see Yo-Yo Ma here on a different team. I'm going to assume this is deathmatch style, because it doesn't really say anything else. Oh, trackball support would be awesome for this game. You kidding me? I would love trackball support for this. That would be a real change of pace. I could dig that. Yeah, trackballs would be kind of awesome. Alright, so if I... Ah! And that was my super cool shot. That didn't really work out. Alright, here we go. This is where I start paying for my crimes. Let's see what I can do. So, graphically, the game certainly has a style about it, and it works nicely. Yeah, I think I'm doing something. Hard to tell, honestly, but I'm going to assume yes. What I do like, though, is the whole acceleration thing. I don't have to worry too much about controlling where I'm going. Oh, you know what? I think he's a good guy. I think I've been falsely attacking the good guy. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Hey, you. Think I don't see you there? I see you there. I'm going to ram you. He had the same idea. Oh boy, I think he's gonna win. Uh-oh. Yeah, I think I'm gonna die. Oh, am I out of ammo? Oh no, I think he destroyed my beam cannon. I think that's a thing. So I guess you can destroy individual parts? That's pretty cool. Uh-oh. I'm going slow. I got 2 health. So apparently this whole time Yo-Yo Ma was on my team. I don't really... Maybe I'm blind. I don't really see the indicator that lets me know what team I'm actually on. Oh, he's a bad guy. I'm so dead. No, I just want to get to my pit stop. Let me get to my pit stop because I got nothing. Show mercy? Alright, so let's see. If I get to the pit stop, do I live? Do I get the health if I press enter? Okay. There we go. It's recharging. Cool. But I'm also getting attacked. I just don't see it happening. Which is kind of unfortunate. Because that doesn't really help much. So I'm still here. I'm just dying in a different way. Oh, okay. I don't have to be in that mode, it looks like, to at least get shield back. Oh, shouldn't have ran into that. But I still have no means of attacking, it seems. So fighting in a friendly pit stop is an advantage for me, it seems. Which is pretty handy. Going to fast enter the pit stop. Stop that. Well, crap. Ah, there we go. Ah, my wheels live. Oh, wow. All right, so we're back here. So I guess that's how I should know that I'm a blue, is because there's all this blue stuff. That's my best guess right there. So that's how I should know that. It would be nice if my tank weren't green. The reason I was kind of confused is because my tank icon down there is green. Maybe you want to make that the same color as the team that you're on. So I thought I was green going against all the other teams. Uh-oh. There we go. See, I got guns too, boy. Turn and burn? Nope, shouldn't have done that. Oh boy. It's definitely a tricky game, that's for sure. And trickiness deserves its own reward. High skill cap. Oh, he's out of power. That means I should kill him, right? Well, let's see. Come on. It looks like I'm doing something. I have no real guarantees. Oh, you know what? I see it now. There's a little health underneath. There it is. I got some score. Hooray. Alright, let's try to look at the... Whoa, that hurt. So apparently there are proximity mines. Alright, let's see. So we got some feedback from Yoko saying, texture repetition on buildings, grass is kind of conspicuous. Should probably work on variation and or randomization there. Totally agree. There's a lot that can be done with the textures here. Right now it feels all a little bit plain, and I feel like that would be probably the biggest small thing you could do to try to give your game a little bit of a boost. You could definitely give it a much better looking visual style, a much more appealing visual style to anybody. Just if you look into different, like maybe get some mossy looking walls or something, you know? Just a little moss on the walls. That alone would make a bit of a difference. What's that? I should probably shoot it. I want to shoot it. Too high. But the biggest thing right now I'm having trouble with is the aiming. I feel like that's really the biggest problem that I'm having right now, is just trying to get a shot on people is not all that easy. It's really... I mean, maybe it's not supposed to be easy. I kind of get that. But it should at least feel like I can... I don't know. I feel like I shouldn't have this much trouble aiming. Moving, sure. I can totally understand moving being tricky. I can't tell if these guys are friendly, but I'm going to shoot them. They look unfriendly. But look at this. I'm just trying to edge it just a little to the right. And I can only get to between those two areas. Look at that. It's either all the way here, all the way there. All the way here, all the way there. Am I getting hurt? It looks like I'm getting hurt. Why am I getting hurt? What's hurting me? Is it those things? Are they? Oh, they were shooting at me. Okay. I didn't hear any gunshots or anything. But I would really love to just be able to shoot this guy, but I can't unless I, like, move the tank itself. It shouldn't be that hard to aim. That's all I'm getting at. It feels like the aiming's just a little bit harder than it should ever need to be. And maybe as you keep playing, you can get used to the system more and more, but the real question is, should you need to get used to this system? Should this be something that needs a lot of work to do? It should be something that people just enjoy doing, you know? I mean, aiming is going to be most of this game. Oh boy. Pain is real. Turn! Turn! Move! Run away! Ah! My back end. The shields are real. I'm just winging it at this point. Okay, looks like I got away, but to where? Oh, to these guys. Lovely. See if I can get the game's creator. Or just not die. That might be a nice thing to do, too. Less death is good. So, got a little bit of ring around the rosy going on here. Ah, I got stuck on something. There we go. Come on. So, there's definitely good movement mechanics here. There's good aiming mechanics here. Well, not aiming. I meant there's good moving and attacking mechanics. That's what I'm trying to say. But I feel like it's really just a question of if I could use the mouse. I feel like I could do so much more with this game. I keep getting stuck on things. There we go. I must go now. My people need me. Let's see if I can just get away from all this. It looks like my back end is destroyed. Giggity. Ah, they're after me, Lucky Charms. Am I on fire? Yeah, that's me on fire, isn't it? The only thing is, as far as I can tell, it doesn't seem like I'm having much of an impact. That's one thing I'm noticing. I mean, you see the explosions and everything, but there isn't a lot of visual feedback, is there? There's not a lot, aside from the explosion, that says, hey, you're dealing damage. I feel like you do a lot more to, like, fade out the shields or something like that. They seem really plain and just like a giant white overbubble. It's not even that that's really a bad thing. It's just that it doesn't leave a lot to see. You know, it's not a lot of it's not much of an individual visual indicator that that they're taking damage, that they are starting to die. The best indicator you get is there's a little bar on your crosshair that shows up that you can kind of follow, but other than that, you don't get a whole lot. And I feel like that's a bit of a weakness. You could do a lot more to try to make it more obvious that they're in trouble, you know? Let's see. See if we can get a little more damage on these guys. But when you got a community going, it does seem like a very fun experience, you know? Just play around with the guys, have a little fun, guys or gals. It could be a very fun experience, kind of trading blows and running away. But I tell you, I would really love to see a mouse-look version of this game, where you can use the mouse to aim and just the arrow keys to move. Oh, well, there we go. Come on. Gotta try to look further ahead. I like to look behind me too much. It's very dangerous. Oh, well, let's just not go up that way. But there's a bit of ring around the rosy going on here, but I suppose that's what tank battles mostly are, aren't they? Come on, I just want to aim down. There we go. Oh, oh. Dodging, dodging. It's interesting. It's definitely interesting. And it's actually very impressive for what I think is just a team of one person. Correct me if I'm wrong on that. But I don't think it's really made by a giant team. This is just one dedicated dude as far as I know. Oh, okay, well, there we go. One thing I did notice is if you hold up or you hold down, like if you're going straight forward and you end up holding up, trying to move forward, you'll actually end up stopping at 0. So you'll completely stop instead of moving in the direction you want to go, and that is a little counterintuitive because I've had so many situations where I just stop moving and I think I'm stuck on something, but in actuality, the game thinks that I wanted to stop instead of anything else. Now the UI I think could definitely use a touch-up. I think that's probably the weakest point of the game right now. There's a lot of UI things. There's a lot of things, but they're not really all that well represented. I mean, there's the health, there's the armor, which are two completely different things, apparently. But then there's also the shield, it looks like, but I'm not entirely sure what the most important thing is. Because at one point I thought I saw I had 0 health, but I still had armor, so I was still alive. And that was a little odd. Am I out of energy? What's happening? Oh, I'm getting killed. But I think I'm out of energy, so I'm moving really slow. Where am I getting shot from? Because it sounds like I'm getting shot from one place, but I'm getting hit from another. What I don't understand is how he's taking so many more hits than me, but I'm the one who's losing this exchange. I mean, now I can't even fire. I don't know what happened there, why I just suddenly couldn't attack anymore. I don't really know what happened. Oh, am I on top of somebody? Yeah. So is there a pit stop in base that I can use? Oh, there we go. Ah, get out of here. Apparently the flag is solid. I think that's a flag. So let's pop over here. Let's try a different weapon, shall we? Because I feel like I'm just not dealing a lot of damage right now. I want to try definitely some more damage than this. Let's clear out the inventory, and let's try something different. We'll try the artillery gun. We'll try the rocket launcher. We'll get some shields, shield boost. Constant repair sounds good. A little bit of defensive stuff right there. And I don't quite know what stealth does for me. I think that's just so they can't detect me from far away, if I were to guess. Pure guess. Fake smoke, jetpack. Okay, that sounds pretty cool. Let's go with a proximity mine. Let's be tricky sneaky. Voxel art. Now, voxel art would be a really cool take on this. Oh, get out of our base. Why am I not attacking? Why am I so close to dead? I definitely attached the shield. Why aren't I attacking? Spacebar, gun, anything. Come on, shoot him. I don't know why. Oh, well, okay, mines work. So that worked, but I don't know why I didn't attack right there. I'm getting hit, it looks like. Look at that, I'm taking damage. But from what? Is somebody tossing something over? Are we getting shelled? Look at that. Somebody's tossing stuff over, but there's like no explosion sounds. How am I supposed to know? But I can't really fight back in this state right now. I can't do anything. Come on, I just want to turn. What is with this? I'm trying to just... You know what, it's a tank. That's the thing. I'm trying to drive it right now as a car, but I'm realizing tanks work a little differently. Left and right actually will bring you left and right every time. Alright, do I need weaponry? Oh, right. Okay, so I got a rocket launcher. Okay, I see what went wrong. So I'm going to need... Let's try armor-piercing shells, I guess. I have 2. I don't know what the equivalent of that is, but let's find out. There we go. That looks a lot better. But I only have 5 shots? Jeez, that's not enough to kill anybody, I don't think. I mean, I guess we'll find out. Now, how do I know... Okay, so every time I go into the inventory, I get more, but then I lose all my shield. That's kind of rough. Kind of need that for things and stuff. Let's see if I can follow the shells here. Who's shelling us? Who's quietly shelling us? It looks like they just have a really good bead on it. Can't see him. He's probably got a stealth module or something. Or he's over here somewhere. It's a big environment, but it does leave a lot to be desired. I mean, it's not super well textured. It's not really... it's very blocky. It's not the end of the world. It is what it is, but could definitely go above and beyond if you wish to. I think voxel art would be really fitting for this game. Because right now there's not a lot of consistency between the tanks, the way the tank looks and the way everything else looks. That hurt? Please tell me that hurt. Because it should have hurt. God, I hope that hurt. Come here. I don't know who you are, but I will catch you. I wish to kill you. Ah! Oh, you got a friend? That's cheating. Well, the tables, they have turned. As far as I can tell, I'm really not dishing out as much damage as I would have hoped anyway. I don't think I have enough weaponry to even kill him. I'm not... I feel like, as a new player coming in, I do not really understand a lot of the concepts that are going on here. I feel like there's a lot of conveyance issues that really need addressing in order for a new player to come in and play this game to its fullest. So let's try a rocket launcher with max rocket. Sure, why not? Max rocket. Oh, I can only have 2 of those altogether. Okay. I guess they really want you to use those energy weapons because you don't seem to have a lot of ammo for anything else. I guess I'll take 2 max rockets. I'll take a thin ion beam cannon with the enhancer. You know what? Actually, no. I'm going to take a pulsed because I like pulse. Add extra battery, super battery charger, and stealth because why not? All right, let's see how that plays out. Let's see how this guy does. Oh, right, I have no shield. That's a stupid idea. But damn if that doesn't look cool. Alright, let's get rid of stealth. Let's get us a shield. Ow. Pick config 1. Well, I mean, I want to at least try out some different things. If I only have one thing to play, which I don't really think was dealing enough damage, personally. But if you insist, I'll pick config 1. I actually really want to try different things, though, but I guess I can modify config 1. Let's give it a shot. This is the dev's orders. Take config 1, but I'm going to switch out the fat ion beam with a pulsing one. And I think that's almost everything. I can also take a... What else can I take? Super battery charger sounds good. Alright. So I'm pretty much just the same loadout as I was the last time, but this time I got a different shot. Let's see how it goes. It's a beautiful game. It really is. But I feel like there's conveyance. As far as conveyance goes, you do a lot of things with different sound effects, like the shelling that was happening. I had no idea there was shelling happening. Now, there's 2 ways you can take care of that, and I'd honestly take it both ways. I would do an explosion effect for one. That's kind of a given. But also a nice specific sound, you know, like the sound of shells flying in. Not just the shells exploding on impact, but the actual sound of them flying in would very much convey to the player, hey, stuff's going down, I should probably not get hit. I don't know whose team you're on. And I missed. Oh boy, did I miss. Back up, come on. Well, that didn't kill it. And that definitely didn't kill it. It doesn't even seem to really hurt. I do not appear to be doing any damage to this thing. Oh my goodness. I do wonder about the balancing in this game, honestly. I mean, maybe that's just a bug. Maybe he's supposed to die easier than that, but he's not. There we go. It looks like I was hitting him dead on. Maybe I was wrong. Let's go back in here, I guess, and try to get more battery. Does that just work? Yeah, it charges there. Okay. The dev of this game is is this guy right here, actually, who is KCP Dad 2. Or just 1. Or, 0. Oh, but every time I go in the pit stop, I lose my shield. I need to remember that. That's very dangerous. Because I'm wide open at that point. So I think the biggest thing for balancing, consider having all the weapons deal a little more damage. Because it seems like right now, they just don't dish out the kind of damage that they need to effectively kill in a decent amount of time. I mean, look at this. I don't think I'm dealing any damage to this guy. I'm looking at the bar, and it looks like it's all the exact same it was a second ago. Oh. Well, there's all the green dudes. I can't really tell if I'm dealing anything to this guy. Oh boy, somebody just went flying. That was kind of cool. Oh, just hit my own bro. I hit my bro. Dang, those tanks are going flying. Being forced out of the mission. Yeah, I think this weapon is not really designed to kill. I think I need to stick with just that one specific beam weapon. Because this one ain't cutting it. Let's see if I can get out of here alive with all the dodging. Oh, that's mine. Well played. So mines are one-hit kills. That's, ouch. Again, balancing. It seems like, why is a mine a one-hit kill, but this pulsed energy gun? Let me read up on that. When I think pulsed energy gun, it's actually very different from what I expected. I thought it was going to be like a series of shots. Pulse causes high shield damage. The actual tank damage is relatively small, but his shields never went down. I shot him like how many times with it? The shields never went down. I don't get it. I really am so confused by that. The whole point I was hoping was I could take down the shields and he would deal the final damage, but I don't know, I'm just going to deal with I'm going to use the main loadout. I'm not going to divert right now. Maybe it's just not balanced right for it. But I think the biggest confusion just comes from why certain things don't seem to deal damage. And maybe it's a bug. Maybe they're supposed to deal more. Oh, look, he's on fire. Maybe they're supposed to deal less. I'm really not 100% sure. As a new player coming in, it's very tough to get a grasp on everything that's going on, and you're throwing a lot of concepts on them. This could be solved a few ways, though. I mean, you could try a tutorial, right? You could try a little tutorial mission that's all about killing drones or bots or something like that. You could try just little on-screen tips whenever you die, maybe. Little things to kind of get the point across. I basically just want to kill somebody. I killed one dude, but that's only because he ran out of juice, I guess. Oh, what's this behind me? Oh, that's my bro. Dude, get to the pit stop. Ah, what you trying to do, man? I'm on your team. Yo. Hey, yo. I could kill you right now, bro. Don't test me. Look at that. Look at that health. He's got no health. Radar. F3? Oh, look at that. So many buttons. I'm going to go for Pinky over here. Now, although it's not a really elaborate level, or rather, it's not a really beautiful level, I will say, it is a very elaborate level. There's a lot of concepts here. There's a lot of places to go. Duck and weave different areas. So I see a pink dude near our base. I want to try to solve that problem. See if we can kill him. Looks like KPC has the same idea. Where is that guy? Oh, don't fall off. Don't do that. There we go. Bet your 4x4 can't do that, huh? I think he's under... Yeah, he's under here. Let's say hello. Or maybe he was up there. Because now he seems to be dead. Okay. I didn't see him. Oh, well. Oh, whoa. Here I thought he was friendly. Oh, boy. A lot of the enemies. Hostiles everywhere. It feels very sandboxy. I've noticed that too. I mean, there is an overall objective, but... Oh, no, wait. Oh, mistakes were made. I did not want to go this direction. Oh, no. I'm dead. I can't even tell where I'm facing. Well, now I can. But I actually couldn't turn at all, so... That was that, pretty much. That was just me being a bad tank driver. Is the tank... Did we lose our flag? No, there it is. I wonder if there's any notifications when a flag gets picked up. I haven't actually seen one picked up yet, so really have no idea on that. Just try to pin him in there. Look at that, his shield just came back. How did he do that? So this game's got a ton of custom weaponry, but the only things I see anyone using are these, so I have a feeling that that's for more of a practical reason than it's more of a necessity than a reason that people want to. But I still feel like I'm just not doing anything to these guys. Look at all the damage that I've laid down. I have been hitting these guys so many times, and it feels like nothing's happening. And I don't know if that's a fault for me as a player, maybe I'm doing something wrong, or if that's something completely different. Ah, dang it. Ow. But look, he hits me twice and I'm already losing so much armor. So much shielding. So, what's the deal with that? There's some kind of balancing issue here, I can feel it. Something here that's just not adding up. And just as I said, as a new player, I can't figure out what it is. Look, my back armor's completely gone now. But I've been hitting his back for like way more times than this. So I really don't know. And I keep saying armor, I should be saying shield. Maybe it's the fact that it keeps recovering? I mean, you might notice it's constantly recovering. My shield is always coming back. So that might be part of it, is the fact that it doesn't really realize when it goes down, because it never fully goes down. It just keeps coming back, so... But I don't see his health going down either. But I'm definitely not missing. There's no way. Definitely doesn't feel like it, at least. Oh. We are literally firing at each other. Oh, no, I'm not. I'm out of ammo, I guess. And now I'm stuck. And now I'm dead. So why was what he did right there so much different from what I did? I really don't get it. I shot him way more times than that. And that is easily the one thing that is going to turn off everybody who plays it the first time, is there's clearly some kind of lost in translation going there. And it's just not, it's not going to appeal to people. It's not going to appeal to anyone who plays for the first time. It's just unfortunate, but it's true. I don't know why I failed. And as a player, that frustrates me to the point where I just really don't want to play anymore. It's really something you got to watch out for. That's really the best thing I can say about that, is you got to absolutely make sure that if the player fails, they know why they failed. They know what went wrong. Let's see. So there are a few other configurations. Let's try another one. Let's try rocket launcher. This feels like it should appeal more to my sensibilities. We'll try this guy out, and then we'll probably call it a day. But let's see. So what's a rocket look like? Apparently nothing. My rockets aren't firing. Or I'm pressing the wrong button. What was it? It was I for impulse rockets? And by the time I figure out, I'm already going to have waste one. So let's press all the buttons till we find the magical one. What is the button? Just press the buttons. F1 maybe can help me here? No? Oh, that's the, there's the feed. Okay. F2 for all that stuff. Controls, huh? Little help. Impulse rockets. What was the button? Impulse rockets is middle mouse button or F. Okay. Alright, there we go. They have no sound. So there's that. Alright. Well, at least I got rockets now. F. Gotcha. F. Everybody says F. F it is. I was kind of hoping it would be I for impulse at the very least. Alright, let's try to find somebody and blow them up with impulse rockets. Well, now that everybody knows I have impulse rockets. So there's a center pit stop here. Anybody can join that. I see a green dude. Let's try to hit him with some impulse rockets, see what happens. Oh, hello! Well, geez! In terms of effectiveness, that's just generally awesome. But in terms of actual damage, it didn't look like it did a lick of difference. He's going to go in there so I can't blow him out. I think that's how you kill with these rockets, is you got to shoot him out of the arena. See, that's cool as hell. That's actually really freaking awesome. And I wish more things were like that in this game. You know what I mean? Just go ham with it. Just have fun with it. Why not, right? You're not going for... Well, you kind of are going for the full realism, but you're clearly not because that just happened. So, you know, that kind of stuff, that's the kind of stuff that makes players go, holy crap, this game is awesome. Oh, this is a lockpick stop. How do I unlock it? Probably don't. More like this. More exactly like that. Holy crap, yes. Sometimes they... SATs, are those the impulse rockets? I hope not, but sometimes they crash the server, so I guess I should be careful. But see, this is the kind of stuff that players wouldn't know. Alright, so we got that dude right there. Is he looking at me? Yeah, he's looking around. Maybe I can get in there real quick, grab the stuff and go, huh? Oh, my battery's dead? Uh-oh. That ain't gonna work. Whoosh. Is there a safe pit stop around here that I can actually go? SATs equals drones. Ah, gotcha. See, the shield charge, or the shield should change color, like yellow for half and red for 10. That would help a lot. I mean, little things to at least let me know that what I'm doing is working would be super handy. You know what I mean? Right now, it's just, I have no idea whatsoever if I'm ever dealing damage. There's not a pit stop here. Oh, boy. Need to find a pit stop. I think there's one over this way. But I gotta get there, which is slow. How do I flip? I don't know that you can unflip yourself. Oh, I see him. I see him over there, looking at me crossways. Did you look at me sideways? I shouldn't mess with him without power. I need more power, Captain. Come on. Just a little more. Are those birds? No. No, I would never be so lucky. Those are drones, and they're about to try to kill me, aren't they? Oh, yeah. They are not happy with Highsight. I'm going to go down this way. Shh. Can I use this pit stop, please? Please tell me yes. Oh, okay, cool. Getting battery. That's a good sign. Can I get... Oh, it's locked, but at least I can get battery, so that's a plus. So if it's a locked pit stop, why does it still have the arrow on it? Like, it still looks like a pit stop I should be able to use. I kind of want to find someone to kill, but it looks like everyone's just kind of chilling at their bases. I think that one's locked too. I don't really know how I can differentiate a locked one from an unlocked one. I mean, there are some on the map that are green. You can see the green ones. So I know those aren't mine because I'm the blue team. But should be pretty distinguishable. Man, proximity mines deal so much damage. I mean, if it's somebody who's untouched who touched a proximity mine, they probably shouldn't die from it. Maybe it's just a question of being more observant, but if everything else takes so much effort, why are the proximity mines any different? Alright, can I get my ammo here? Ammo here, please. I think you're unlocked, right? There we go. Alright, give me my ammo. And go ahead and kill off my shields because reasons. Let's see. You can control with config 6. Alright, let's look at config 6. Let's take a look. Let's take a quick peek. Config 6. Drones. Alright, so I got that. Oh, hey. You're on my team, right? Yeah, you're blue. How do I... That's a question I find myself asking a lot tonight. How do I... That is always a frightening question for any game developer, and I understand that, but it's still something that needs to be asked. So, how do I control drones? Drop freeze mine, remote sweeper. I'm going to ram into that wall. There we go. At least I can control while I'm in here. Mine sweepers, jets, boosts, radar depth, cloak, flag catcher. There's a flag catcher. Oh my. Call drone 6. Okay, so that would probably be why it's 6, right? Requires drone control. I don't have control. I thought I just equipped that. Where's my drone control? I still have the rockets. I thought I changed that. Let's try that again. 6. Load config. Exit. There we go. Drone control. Alright, let's give this a shot. 6 doesn't seem to be working. Or if it is, I'm not understanding how it works. I thought I'd actually control a drone. Oh, well. A pit stop capture device. Oh my. Do I have any weaponry myself? Yeah, I do. I have an ion beam. This guy. So, how do I control these drones? I'm going to try to kill my buddy with them. I just press 6 and we'll see what happens. Are they going to fly in and try to murder him? Nah. Nope. Alright, so really the one word for this game, the one very important word that I think is really going to have to be focused on for its development, no doubt in my mind, conveyance, conveyance, conveyance. This is a game that is dependent on its multiplayer, and because of that, it needs to be as new user-friendly as humanly possible. It needs to be able to explain what's going on around it. It needs a lot of that. Now, I understand, as always, this is an alpha game. This is not something that's anywhere near done whatsoever. But it's still important to hammer this point home now, because with the control scheme as it is a terrifying prospect that it's going to stay like this forever. Really got to find some way to convey what needs doing, what's happening. Ah, look at you, body blocking me. I'm going to just steal this and I'm going to leave. How do I... Oh, so I actually can't even take that because I need a flag capture. I see. So, capture the flag ain't like every other capture the flag. You need to actually be a tank that captures flags. Also, my battery's dead, so now I'm dead. Unless he doesn't chase me, but he's going to chase me. And I don't have any weaponry either, so GG world. Here's where I die, because battery is important. So I guess without battery, your shields don't regenerate? That makes sense, I guess, but wow, that battery died right there. Alright, and that's about all I can say for a first player's impression of this game, even with full guidance of other people. It's definitely a question of conveyance. You need to let everybody know what's going on. You need to let your players know what's going on. That is the most important thing you could possibly do. What I will do, really, really quick, is I want to see this flag catcher, and I want to make the fastest tank I can, and I just want to go in, grab a flag, and go out. So, we're going to get shield, shield boost, flag catcher. Where's the speed? I know I saw some speed boosts. Speed boost, speed boost, speed boost, speed boost, speed boost. Oh, and I probably need batteries too. We'll get rid of 2 of these speed boosts and get some batteries. Where are they? Where's the batteries? Batteries. Extra battery. And super battery charger. Oh, it doesn't actually charge. It just lets you hold more. Okay. So we'll let the battery charge before we leave. And we're going to see how fast we can go. And we're going to see if we can take the flag and just get out. Which, of course, my plan is completely ruined because I've just informed them how I'm going to do it, as I am currently streaming. Oh, look, he took the pink flag. Well, my work here's done. Maybe I don't want the pink flag. Maybe I want the gray flag. Oh, no, he died anyway. I withstood way more noob stomping than expected. Ah, yes. If there's one thing I can apparently do, it's take a lot of punishment from people who know how to play games better than me. So we're just going to sneak very quietly up on these people who are totally not watching me. Oh, he died. Well, I'm nowhere near that flag. No, we're taking a different route. Oh, look, they got drones. That's going to hurt. Run in, grab the flag. Yay! Oh, wow, you move slow with the flag. I mean, come on. Is that even... How? How do you capture this? At this speed? How? No, seriously. How are you expected? How are you expected to capture at that speed? Come on. This is... I built this with no weaponry, just with speed because I knew I would need the speed. How is that going to work? How do you capture? Oh, I do not understand. I'm so confused. Turbo. There's a turbo button. What's the turbo button? I don't know these buttons. Turbo button. I don't even know if I have the turbo. I have the speed booster if that's the turbo. Boost shields. Oh, you can boost shields. Okay, well, that's a thing. Toggle flag. Hang on, don't shoot me. I'm reading. I mean, I didn't even expect to go so slow with the flag. I don't see a turbo button. I mean, there's a lot of things I gotta look through, but even still, activate boost. T. T is T for turbo. Of course it is. Alright, well, let's try that again, because they won't see it coming a second time. He's smoking and everything, and I can't even kill him. Oh, well, hello. Don't mind me. It's cool, bro. I'm moving quicker than him. I don't think he has much of anything going on right now. Oh, there's no flag here. Where'd the flag go? Well, this is gonna hurt. Where the heck is the flag? Wait, does he have the flag? Didn't look like he had the flag. I don't see the flag on him. Where's the flag? I don't see it on the map either. Well, he's dead. And I ain't sticking around. Alright, let's try the turbo. Ladies and gentlemen, turbo! Okay, yeah, that's a bit of speed. I actually can't move left or right while it's going, which is interesting. Makes sense. And that's gonna hurt like hell. Oh, yeah. Right in the left side. Oh, he was bringing it back. It's not obvious. Okay, so, again, conveyance. That's where that all comes down to. Well, I don't have any weaponry, so that's it for me, folks. That's about all I can do. I could try to ram him. But other than that... Well, let's see if I can ram him. Well, no, he's probably fully repaired now. Yeah, I think we're going to have to call it there, ladies and gentlemen. Pressing escape just tells me Alt-Q to quit the game, so disconnection in progress. And yeah, ladies and gentlemen, that's been 60 tons. It's interesting, but I just feel like there's so much. There's such a learning curve, and it's a massive learning curve at that. It's not even like a small one. It really needs conveyance. That is just the best word I can possibly use for it. Conveyance, conveyance, conveyance. Make absolutely sure that the player knows what they're doing. Hey, glad to help, man. So let's go ahead and do another giveaway right now. Giveaway. If you want your chance to win Little Inferno, go ahead and type giveaway in chat now. Alright, it's got a lot of great ideas, no doubt, it really does. I'm just curious what can be done to improve upon what's currently there so normal people like myself can just jump in and have a good time. So Yoko says, texture repetition on buildings and grass is kind of conspicuous. Should probably work on a bit of variation and or randomization on there. Yep, totally agree. Nubru says, doesn't seem like hitting an enemy or being hit results in any kind of visual feedback. Juice it up! Juice it up! Oh, I love that term, juice it up. Definitely, squeeze as much juice as you can out of that, because right now, I really had no idea if what I was doing was actually doing anything. There was no visual indication that I could see that let me know that my hits actually meant anything. And that was a huge issue. I know I probably harped on that a lot as I was playing, but I was just thinking, am I doing anything, and why is it when they hit me, it seems to work? It's a big thing that's going to throw off new players like myself. No doubt about that. No doubt about that. All right, next up we have BP Outlaws Jeff that says, what about using the mouse to aim, but with lag, since the turret top will take a while to turn? So it heads towards where your mouse cursor is, but it keeps the tank feel by having it take a second. I love that, BP Outlaws Jeff. That is exactly what MechWarrior Online does, and MechWarrior Online does it really well. You don't just snap to the position you try to bring your mouse to. Instead, it just kind of nudges it in that direction. Wherever there will be like a cursor in an area, in a three-dimensional area, and your turret will slowly move to the cursor at whatever speed the turret's allowed to move at. Now that sounds like a great different control scheme, and I really love that. BP Outlaws, you're getting some bits for that. I love that. Definitely agree with that, BP Outlaws. That would be way better. Next up, we have Showcase 5, welcome buddy, who says, enemy health needs better size and placement. For example, make it bigger and above the enemy unit. That would be really handy, but I don't know if the reason they're not doing that is because it might let everybody know that this guy's almost dead, and maybe they only want it to be known to those who are currently mousing over them. You could still do that if it only worked for people mousing over them, but I would agree it would be nice to have a better idea of some sort if your impact is doing anything. Showcase says, aiming reticle needs to be brighter and maybe even color customizable to ensure the player can visually spot it instantly. I could see that. I didn't have too much trouble with it. Maybe you guys were having more trouble because it was coming through an encoded stream, but I was able to see it pretty well. It wasn't that bad. Showcase 5 also says, when at an angle and reaching over the edge, climbing up a ramp, and the front half is over, you can add 1, a bounce when the top half lands, or 2, slow down the speed a little bit to juice up the environment feel. I could see that. I could definitely see adding a little bit more juice to the movement itself would definitely have a good feel to it. I could see that. New Bruce says, fully get a Mech Warrior vibe, which is awesome. You could look at various mech game control schemes to figure out how to integrate joystick and mouse. I feel like that is the biggest lacking right now. It's just the fact that this lovely little thing right here, this mouse, is worthless in that game. It serves no purpose as far as I can tell. If there is a way to use it, I could not find a way outside of the menus, which it seems like such a waste. This is such a great peripheral to use in all sorts of mech and tank games. You are the best, Mousy. I love you, Mousy. You bring joy. I'm stroking it like Dr. Evil stroking his cat. I'd name it Mr. Bigglesworth. So yeah, definitely find a way to integrate this little beauty right here. VP Outlaws Jeff also says, you would go sci-fi futuristic with the art style in general. Since you're shooting what seems like laser guns, you can change your weapon a bunch... wait. Let me try that again. He says, should go full sci-fi futuristic with the art style in general. Since you're shooting what looks and sounds like a laser, and you can change your weapon to a bunch that isn't very realistic anyway, why not give it more of a sense of the player driving something like this? And he includes a really cool looking futuristic tank with like a railgun attached to it for the turret. Yes, please. I love railguns. That sounds like something I want in my life. And he also says, and put them in a futuristic arena or a war-torn futuristic city, etc. I could definitely see this thriving with a futuristic look. No doubt in my mind. I feel like the one thing holding it back right now, by far, aside from the conveyance, is its art style. Its art style could be so much more than what it is. You're already going the full-on, like, laser weaponry. You got shields, like, legit-looking shields, like energy shields. Go the full 9 yards, man. Just hit it. Full-on, crazy-looking, awesome tanks. I know art is tough, but could be really cool. So, yeah. Let's see. This is not Indie Insights anymore. What happened? Oh, the mouse? Oh, come on. This little guy? This little guy right here? I haven't even started talking about my green screen over here. She's shy. You can't see her. But she's there. Poor conformists. Shield your eyes. I love you guys. Next up. PP Outlaws Jeff says, you think in general it needs a lot more feedback for the player to let them know the effect he's having or causing effects on him, or what's causing effects on him. Definitely couldn't agree more. Like conveyance all the way. Like having the tanks shake and rock when you hit them, having the screen tilt away from the direction that you're being hit, with a red arrow flashing on the side that the shot came from, etc. Juiciness, basically. So much juice. All the juice. I want you to wring all the juice out of that little tank game. I want to see it. I want to see all the juice happening. Let's hear. BPL, as Jeff says, definitely needs a lot more smoke and a lot more fire effects, etc. As the tank takes more damage, you can quickly know who's half dead, etc. to strategize. I'm not entirely convinced that I was ever dealing any damage to any of them. I saw at the end, though, there was some kind of a shield boost thing. You could shield the back more or the front more, and you're constantly recovering your shield as long as you have batteries. So it seemed like people just had massive batteries, and they were always recovering shield even when they were getting hit. That might be the main issue right there. The question is whether or not players should always be recovering shield. Should they only be recovering shield a while after they've been hit instead of constantly while they're being hit? Because if they're recovering constantly and they build themselves tanky enough, then you're never going to penetrate until one of you runs out of battery. You know who's going to run out of battery first? Most likely the guy who's been shooting at you the whole time, and you can't do anything at that point. I mean, that's just a sad feeling when it's like, look at all this effort I put out, and then I died because of it. It's unfortunate, really. But yeah, I would agree. Definitely more conveyance on who's hurt and how much. Nubru says, have you looked into a third-person perspective? I feel like it would really work for this game. You would have a better understanding of where your tracks are in relation to the turret, and you could get a lot of visual feedback when taking damage. In general, I don't even think it needs to be third person. I think if you could just see your own tank's treads while you're using the turret, that would be a massive help in figuring out where you're pointing. Because let's face it, if you're going where the turret's going, the turret, if there was a camera on it, would be able to see its own treads below it, especially if you were looking more down. And that alone would be a great indicator, so you don't have to stare at the little icon in the bottom center while you're playing, so you can know exactly what's going on. Where's the juice smiley? Is there a juice smiley? I can make a juice smiley. This is my juice smiley. My juice smiley's freaky. Next up, Nubru says he likes the weapon variety. Cross-map artillery surprised him. It seems like there's room for a lot of strategy when building teams of tanks. Very cool. However, there is an issue with conveyance. Yep, we've been over that enough, so I won't keep harping on it, but I definitely agree. Conveyance, conveyance, conveyance! Next up, Nubru says how projectiles appear on the radar. Interesting concept, because at least then you could look on the radar if you're getting hit and see where you're getting hit from, and that alone could be a bit of an indicator, a bit of enough of an indicator to let you know where the fire is coming from so you can avoid it. I could see that. I could see that. It's in between first and third person. It's fourth person. Oh my goodness. Fourth dimensional camera. Nubru says... nope, I already said that. KF Storm says... It's good to remember that not everyone is as good at your game as you are. Players won't know what you intended when you implemented a new feature. Don't hope that your players put two and two together because to them it's a foreign language. Don't be afraid to tell them directly about a certain combo of weapons or a particular strategy. Yes, it sucks when a game tells you what to do, but that's the tricky part about game design. That is eloquently put, and I'm going to give you bits just for your eloquence right there. I could not agree more, KF Storm, and that is exactly why I do this. I do this because I'm trying to come in as blind as I can. I don't want to know about your game before I go into it. I want to be the one new player who comes in, never knowing anything about your game, and learning about it through what the game's telling me. Because a player needs to be able to do that. I don't care if your game is a deep strategy game. I don't care if it's a casual free-for-all. A player needs to be able to just jump into your game and enjoy it. Otherwise, what's the point? I mean, at least if it's multiplayer, what's the point? If it's single player, okay, maybe you made it for yourself, and that's totally fine. But to a point, you need to make absolutely sure that everybody can enjoy your game to some degree. Because otherwise, what's the point if people can't enjoy it, you know? Try to be as inclusive as you can, but that is a great way to put it, KF Storm. Just remember, your players are not as smart as you are after you've created the game. Nubru says it's a pretty awesome project, and you see a lot of potential for this dev. I couldn't agree more. It's got a lot of potential, and I would love to see where this turns out in the future. BP Outlaws, Jeff says, maybe make the proximity mines take a few more seconds before they go off, so they have some time to GTFO, and a bright flash so they're prepared for it to go off, so you can have a few seconds to react versus having to try and watch for them for the rest of the game when the rest of the game wants you to play action-y versus if it was a slow, stealthy game. And that I can totally see, because like you said, you're playing an action-y game. You're expecting to move constantly. You don't want to be stopping to look for something that's going to instantly kill you no matter what. That doesn't really jive well with the whole action-speed lifestyle of the game. So I definitely agree with that. Absolutely. Kev Storm says, it's also common in games these days to design it around a gamepad or a controller. Maybe you could test it with a controller. I honestly don't know if there is controller support for this game. There might already be. BB Outlaws, Jeff says, also see if you can streamline the controls down to as few buttons as possible. No reason Highsight should be looking at what buttons activate turbo. It could probably just be one button for your ability, or whatever slot it is. I could definitely see a certain, like you said, slot system. So you can switch between weapons like that. Why can't you do it for things like turbo buttons and shielding and stealth and stuff like that? I definitely agree with that. And lastly, BP Outlaws Jeff says, good stuff though, LOL, just lots of potential for tweaks to make it newbie friendly. Couldn't agree more. That is exactly what I'm seeing right here. I'm seeing a very deep, complex game that could definitely be tweaked to the point where anybody could get into it, but those tweaks are going to be hard. I do not doubt that in my mind. You might have to even tone down a couple of things. You might need to explain mechanics a bit more, but as long as you can get the conveyance across, which I will not for a second pretend is an easy thing to do, but if you can get that conveyance across, it is a game that could be very well loved by many people who love this tank genre, which we all know exists because World of Tanks is huge right now. This is very much a very, very complex World of Tanks meets MechWarrior Online game that I think has a lot of potential for people who love both genres. You just got to work out that control scheme, man. The control scheme, the conveyance, and a little bit of the graphics. You'll be good to go. Good luck, buddy. I wish you the best. All right. Last call on giveaway. I'm going to take a drink because that was a lot of talking. Oh my. I want to thank everybody who came by and helped me test that out, by the way. I assume it seems like you have a very thriving community right now, and that's wonderful because that's going to be something that your game's going to need when you really want to expand out to a lot of people. So I'm really happy to see that. That's absolutely wonderful news that you got such a big, friendly community who's ready to play with you. All right. Last call. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And the winner of Little Inferno is KF Storm. Thank you so much, KF Storm, for constantly being there to give your feedback and always showing me some awesome games that you're working on. Good man, good man. You have earned this like no other. Congratulations, KF Storm. Enjoy your copy of Little Inferno. I have sent you a Steam key. Enjoy yourself. And with that, we are on to our final game of the night. Ladies and gentlemen, let's talk a little bit about Ballistic Tanks. First of all, let's talk about that trailer that's above me right here. This is how you make a trailer, folks. High action moments, lots of really quick cuts with little transitions that you made yourself with your own graphics, with those little those little visual effects going on right there when you're changing text and stuff like that. This is how you make a trailer, ladies and gentlemen. This is high action, high intensity, really fun to watch, zooms in on the important parts, lots of explosions. It gets the point across so quickly, and it's just, look at that. Look at that. That took a lot of time. That's not something that you just do. You need to get all the footage from all those maps, and you need to cut them together really quick like that. Effort like that pays off. This is one of the best trailers that I've had submitted to Indie Insights in quite a while. Very impressive work. This is how you trailer, everybody. But aside from that, this is a 4-player local multiplayer party game, which, love those words in that exact sequence, because I guarantee you, next time I have a party over here, I will have people joining me. But it does also have a single-player wave mode, so you get a little bit best of both worlds right there. Love that. Always good. So let's not waste any time here, folks. Let's just dive in and let's see what we got for Ballistic Tanks. And this is by Kirk Nedick, who is actually with us right now, so if you wish, you can chat with him as we check this game out. And hang on. Hang on. There it is. Alright. OBS being fun. So ladies and gentlemen, this is Ballistic Tanks, and also another thing I want to point out, this is how you do a really cool looking menu screen. Now the only thing I will say is that the menu options are, they're getting obscured right now by explosions and tanks walking all over them and everything, or, you know, being all over them in general. You might want to watch out for that. Make it so the menu is always on top, or at least these buttons are always on top, because I don't want to like be trying to figure out what everything is and then giant explosions are happening. So let's go ahead and pop right in with the play button here. Alright, so we got bots, we got humans. I'm going to go ahead and try with the controller. Because, oh, look at that. Look at how beautiful that is. Now, I assume if I really wanted to, yep, I could have mouse and keyboard and controller. But, of course, I always have 4 controllers at the ready for big multiplayer parties. So let's go ahead and do this. I guess I can't really hit next on my own on the controller, but that's alright. I'll just hit next there. That'd be something nice for the future. So, beautiful visuals, beautiful sound so far. I like it a lot. Let's go ahead and see. So we have Deathmatch, we have Boss Battle, we have Power Switch, and Deathmatch again. Bullet Time, which I assume means time slows down when things either get near or hit. Let's just try Standard. Which one am I? Which one am I? I don't know which one I am. Oh, I'm the top? Am I the yellow guy? I think I'm the yellow guy. Okay. I'm dead. That didn't go well. So I use my right analog stick to aim, and my left analog stick to move. And there's definitely a bit of a learning curve because you don't just move, you gotta turn, because it is a tank game we're talking about here. Oh, there we go, it's R1 to fire. That helps. So there's a lot of these little slowdown moments I'm sure you're all seeing right here, and I'm not sure if those are built in or if that's the game actually lagging. I actually have no clue if that's how it's supposed to be going down. Hello, giant missiles. But it feels like that's lag, because look at how long that's taken. Oh no, that was the game win. So that was like the game winning lag. I feel like it's a little over the top. I don't know if you need that much crazy madness going on right there. Because look at how much it slows down things. I thought that's what bullet time would do, but it looks like it's the exact opposite. Bullet time doesn't seem to do that. It just seems to be default. So for the spawn in, for the first time you're spawning in, it might be kind of cool if you could, instead of saying how many lives you have, if it actually said something along the lines of what player you are. Because when I first got in here, I did not know what player I was. Now, it's always important to note that I am currently streaming and recording at the same time, so this lag could very much just be from that. So this might not be something that most people would experience. But that's a little over the top, I will say. That ending lag, way over the top. Oh my. Ah, he got me. It's like he's a bot or something. That looks like a grape shot. I kind of want the grape shot. I wanted that kill. So this particular game is all about survival, not the kills. But I do like the controls a lot, because the movement ain't that hard to do. But the aiming, oh, it's so on point. I have a shield. How did I get that? I don't know, but I'll take it. The aiming feels so right on this. This is controls at their best, in my opinion. This is literally, you're just aiming with your right stick and you're shooting while you're moving around with your left. That is the emphasis of simplicity. And it's something, anybody can get into this. Anybody could grab this and know how to play it. I made very similar comments when I first was checking out, Rocket Fist, or Rocket Fist a while back, by Daniel Sound. And that game was literally just move around with your left analog stick and then shoot in the direction that you're moving with square. Or dodge if you don't have a fist. And it was so easy that when I had my next multiplayer party, it was the hit of the multiplayer party. Everybody there loved it. Everybody picked it up immediately. They all loved it. We could not stop playing. And that is a great sign for any game, obviously. The ability to just have anybody pick it up and enjoy it, huge. Huge. And we just all had a great night. So that's always what I would recommend to people. When you make a game, try to make sure that your controls are as simple as humanly possible. Try to just give it to somebody randomly, don't tell them the controls, and see if they can pick up on it, and that was a 2-for-1 right there. I mean, come on, you gotta give me some props on that. I await the props, folks, because I certainly earned them. That is a powerful weapon. Oh my. I'm gonna go this way. No, I won't, because that's where my weapon's going off. Hey, killed everybody. That weapon's crazy powerful. I love these little power-ups, and it seems like you gotta keep them until you die, which is good, but it might also be a little OP. Might be a little bit of steamrolling going on here. But these visual effects are outstanding. Look at that. Little stats, too. 16 kills. All right. 6 deaths. Shots fired there. Not 50. That accuracy is pretty sad, though, I will admit. So let's go ahead and check out. I believe that there is a single-player boss battle. Let's try that out. I'm curious what bullet time is now. Let's check out bullet time. Ready. Start! Alright, so are we all working together? It looks like no, there's a control point. Alright, so we're still trying to kill each other, it seems. Alright, yeah, I think the bullet time is just a little over the top because it seems to happen way too frequently. I like how I can shoot other people's shots, though, and save myself. That's pretty cool. What's happening here? I have entered his zone. He's entered my zone. And now everybody's all pissed off at each other. And I can't fight. Oh, it's EMPs. We can't shoot each other because we're each in an EMP. That's hilarious, actually. Hey, thanks, bro. That's my reward for you. That's a clever little thing, EMPs. Yeah. So if I get the control point, do I get to fight the boss? Do I get to fight the boss? Oh, I get to be the boss. Oh my god, how many shots can I take? Because this is a big tank. So it's cool, but I only have... Never mind. I was going to say I only have a single directional weapon, so I'm getting it from all sides, but I apparently have an ultra weapon that comes out every now and then. I gotta turn off the bullet time, though. Oh my goodness. So this goes on until they run out of lives. Am I still alive? I do not have any idea how many shots at this I get. So I don't know if I'm close to dead or not. But it doesn't look like I'm doing that good. Because we've basically gone from a one-hit kill mechanic to a I apparently have multiple lives and multiple hits to get killed mechanic. Bless me. So, I won? So, what's the lose scenario there? I assume the boss getting killed means it all starts over. Perhaps. A little slightly different variation on the same map for the most part. We got a capture point in the center, but completely different layout. But yeah, look at that. You have infinite lives until somebody's the boss. That's a neat mechanic. I dig that. Ow. Alright, can I, in here, can I change bullet time? Ah, no, that kind of restarts everything. Let's try power switch while we're here. We'll probably go back to boss battle because I want to explore that more, but while we're here. Oh! Oh! Okay, then. That's cool. So, do we all just get a random power at the beginning and that's what we all use? Because I can dig this. Oh, I really like this. That is a cool weapon. Ah, he still got me. Oh, that's so cool. It's just so visually appealing, especially. Ah, he beat me to it. Look at that, and there's such a risk-reward with this weapon because you get slowed down and you can't change your direction if you get it wrong. So you gotta make sure you get it right the first time. Oh my, yes. Beautiful. This music's really on point, and what I love is it's not changing every time. Oh yeah, we have a different weapon now? Okay. It's not changing every time that the level switches. That is a godsend. I can't tell you how much... It's such a little pet peeve. Those who know me know that. I hate it when music switches every level or something like that. Little world wrapping right here. Okay, never mind. I'll just see myself out. Yeah, the bouncing though. Ah! I like this idea. It forces you to learn all the weapons. This is a cool little game mode. Cool idea. Really gotta become a pro with everything very quick. There we go. I'd actually like to see more game modes like this in other games, just where you get stuck with a power-up that everybody has at random, and then you have to fight each other with it. That seems like a really cool idea. I've seen variations on this, but not exactly like this, at least not in a long time. Oh boy. Oh no. Everybody's got this. I just gotta spam it and see what happens, because this is gonna get crazy very quickly. I'm gonna go over here, and I'm gonna try not to die. But there does seem to be some form of lag issue. There's definitely... Maybe it's the particle effects. Maybe it's actually built in. I honestly can't tell. But it is something that needs a little bit of investigation because all these slowdowns is actually detracting from the game in my experience. I really can't tell whether it's supposed to go this slow or not. But if I were a gambling man, I'd say probably not. Boosh. Ah, it's beautiful. Bullet hell time. Actually, that'd be cool. What about a game mode where there's like turrets that are laying down fire all over the map that you gotta dodge while you're fighting each other? That might be a nice little thing. He just blew... Oh my god, they're gonna blow themselves up before they even get to me. No, 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 no. Variable game speed. Variable game speed. No, I killed myself. I think I actually backed into that. Can you do that? Let me test that. So if I go forward and then I back up into it. No, you can't do that. It must hit a wall. This reminds me of Quake 3 Arena. Second Quake 3 Arena of the night, folks, but just killing each other with rockets. It's always so fun. But the simplicity is what's giving this game an edge over so many others. It's just get in, enjoy it, get out. Oh, everybody's stealth. It's all the same otherwise, though. Nice, okay. I wonder if bots really care about stealth. Because I can tell you right now, I sure as hell don't. I see ya. My sight is based on movement. Yeah, look at that long shot, huh? They ain't even gonna kill me once. Cut to me getting killed once. Yeah, you like that sneak attack? I don't even know if any of you could see that. Yeah, the spawn locations do seem pretty solid. I haven't really run into an area where I got spawn camp just yet. There's a little bit of indication of what's going on ahead of time, but not enough that it's a real big issue in my opinion. I think it all works out nicely. So let's go ahead and play, and we're gonna try the super boss again. Nope. Nope. Get out. Wait. That. Nope. There we go. And then we'll hit next. Yeah, let's try one more time. We're going to try this boss battle. So there's only the 3 game modes right now, but even with that, it is so well polished. I gotta tell you, it's very impressive how polished this all is. It's a very simple... You could ship this today, and I still guarantee that it would get a lot of play at LAN parties because of the depth behind the mechanics, right? There's obviously the movement aspect. There's the firing aspect. There's the idea of being able to shoot shots at other shots in order to ensure that those shots don't kill you. Little things like that. There's a lot right here. Yoko says, the juice here is on point. A tip of the hat to you, sir. I couldn't agree more. The juice is just so juicy here. I could slurp down this juice all day. I could sustain myself on this juice. Oh, that was a whiff. Oh, well, that happened. So let's see if I can kill him. And even for where we are, the bots are pretty on point, too. The bots seem relatively intelligent. I'm gonna die. They're not too intelligent, but they're smart enough, you know, and that does matter. So how much damage can a bot take, though? I would say that's the biggest thing. Definitely gonna need some kind of indicator. There we go. Of how close to dead the super boss is. So I didn't die at all there. Oh, but I got the kill, so I get the point. I don't know about that, honestly. I feel like that's almost unfair because we don't even know what the killing blow is going to be. So we don't really know if our kill is going to be the one that our shot's going to be the one that does it. What if instead, if you die as the super boss, you lose all of your lives and you can't come back to be the super boss again, and it just kept going until there was no one left, or just the one rather. You know what I mean? That, I think, would be a little bit better. Like, it's a high-risk, high-reward. You can either be the boss, or you can let someone else be the boss and try to take them out and get them out of the game and get everybody out of the game until there are no more options for Super Boss but you. And then you win. Maybe that prolongs the game too much. I don't really know for sure. I don't really have the data on that. But I think it'd be a slightly better way to go, in my opinion. It's worth trying, at least. And for all I know, it's already been tried, but it's always worth trying more. I do like the respawn times you have on this because they need to be about that long to ensure that there's at least some chance for a capture here. Oh, that's a whiff. I'm gonna pay for that. Oh, you gotta keep your capture amount, don't you? That's interesting. Alright, so let's see. Try to be the very best, like no one ever was. Or what if everybody who survives, who still has lives after the super boss, what if they all get a point? Like everybody, not just the one guy. Because at a certain point, I think it's kind of triage, right? I mean, you can fight each other, or you can work for the common good. Like right here, I'm going to kill Red just because that'll take him out of the running. And then I don't have to worry about him. And maybe that's the point you were going for, actually, now that I think about it. That does make sense. That does make a lot of sense. So now I'm alone, so I have a lower chance of beating him. But if I beat him, I get the point. I guess I can kind of see that. Now that I'm re-examining it a little bit more, I can see why you thought that would be a good way to go. Of course, I could also screw myself over, because I now he has one target. Oh boy, and he is going for that target. Yeah, there it is. And he is going for that target. I can see this going really well. Again, the lag is an issue, but that might also be because I'm streaming. I want to emphasize that for anyone watching right now. The lag might not be this bad in normal conditions. Might not even be close to this bad. I do know this is made in the, what do they call it? The, it begins with a C. Construct 2. It's made in the Construct engine. And I do know that Construct is known for having, iffy particle effects. Oh, come on, guys. Just get in there. No? Okay. That's fine. I'll just kill you. Alright, we gotta work together for the common good. Until you guys get blown up and I betray you inevitably. Oh boy. That happened. So it's definitely a neat little kind of coerced teamwork out of this. You know, a friend of my enemy is my friend, that kind of thing. Oh, I didn't actually mean to shoot him. That's going to hurt me in the long run. Oh, nope, I'll actually get the kill. That works for me, too. It's a neat idea. I like the idea of the super boss, and I think I would have a lot of fun playing this with my friends. What I do want is I would love the ability to determine how many points to win, because there are going to be games where 5 is just too many, especially if I'm playing like with real people instead of bots, you know what I mean? So like if I were playing this with my friends, I know it would go on for a long time, because I got some strong competitors in these kind of games, and they will fight me tooth and nail. So if it's 5 to win for everybody, then it could very well go down to 4, 4, 4, and 4, so that's 12 right there. So that'd be 13 matches to a win, and that can be a lot. That can actually set in fatigue if the matches last this long. maybe that wouldn't be as big of a problem in other game modes, but just giving me the option to set it as I will, as I wish, that alone would probably be enough to let me do my thing for my play group, you know what I mean? And the Mega Boss. And I'm getting shot. Get over here. That's it. Just ram into me. Couldn't fail. There is no failure possibility here. Failure rate of 0. Get over here. Yeah, I'm going to chalk the particle effects up to construct being construct. Rather the lag being construct particle effects doing their thing. I don't know how much longer I'm going to live. No, turn faster, damn you. The unification of the controls is real nice, too. The fact that the Mega Tank plays pretty much exactly like the other tanks. No difference, for the most part. Just these slower. I mean, that works nicely. Alright, we'll give this one more match, because I want to win this Mega Tank again. But from what I've seen, this is a very impressive start for what could be a very wonderful, wonderful multiplayer arena game. I'm definitely going to be playing this at my next get-together with my friends, and I'm sure they're going to say the same thing. Also, we just got introduced to doors. Doors are a thing. Doors are a wonderful thing in games for so many reasons. Somebody recently did a whole thing, this lovely YouTube creator called Game Array. He created an excellent piece on why doors are so important to games, and not just mechanically, but also what they say about the world. I actually recommend checking it out. Game Array. Guys on YouTube, highly recommend. Great advice on game design, game development, and cool things like that. Everything in between. That's the Highsight bump right there. And hey, if you're watching this live, you can subscribe to me on YouTube now. And if you're watching me on YouTube now, you can subscribe to me now, because you already know where I am. And I know where you live. And I will come find you. It's just a subscribe button. You should just press it. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Blue really wants it, and I'm really missing, so there we go. Nope. Mega Tank. I'm really glad that you don't have to capture from the start every time. That makes this a lot more viable. But the lag is slowing me down, bro. Lag times is getting me down. Alright, everybody's coming back at the same time. I should try to prep with a few mines everywhere. Probably shouldn't hit myself with them. Uh-oh. Oh, this ain't going great. Come on, get all the kills. Murder them all. Nope, I'm dead. I want to chalk that up to the lag, but I don't know if I can allow that to be the case. All right, ladies and gentlemen, this has been Ballistic Tanks. It is still in its alpha, I believe. But my goodness, it's already a ton of fun. It's actually something, if I had a group of people to play this with, I think we would have an absolutely outstanding time. The maps, there's a lot to choose from, so there's a lot of things like this is a completely different map with wraparounds, which is a huge difference. There's a lot of little strategies you can do. I really dig it. I really do. I think this game has a lot of potential. Ladies and gentlemen, Ballistic Tanks. Go check it out. Alright, and ladies and gentlemen, that was our last game of the night. Let's go ahead and look at the feedback for this game as we do a giveaway. So I'm going to get a little music going because, that music's so good. And giveaway time. So this giveaway is for Cannabolts. Really fun, free-running, not free-running, what's the term? Infinite runner game. Very popular in the past, and now here it is again in the present, because I said so. And let's take a look at the feedback. BP Outlaws Jeff says, nope. Yeah, he says, nope, this is for 60 tons. Dang it, you should have said this earlier, bro. Sharkbait says, add a platform in the middle where the options menu are, so it can be easier, so they can be easier to hit. Actually, I like that idea a lot. Just, it can still be in the 3D environment, but just elevate the platform. I like that a lot. And then the tanks can kind of circle around it to fight. That's a Sharkbait. I'm giving you bits for that, bro. I like that a lot. I'm gonna give you 15 for that even. That's a good piece of feedback. It's simple, it's elegant, it can be implemented very quickly, and it would look really cool. Next up, Beat the Outlaws says, haha, this reminds me of an old school Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle game, choosing your character. Oh yeah, it does, doesn't it? It's really well polished. He also says, solid use of juice with the screen freezing off big blasts, but two options. One, consider slightly less delay, or have the delay only happen to you or when you hit someone, or versus when anyone hits you, or 2, turn it into a slow motion instead of a frozen jolt so it's clear that it's an effect. Just rapidly turn pause on and off, on and off, on and off to do this. Oh, that's actually good advice for slow motion. But yeah, I think a lot of that was the lag, honestly, because I actually noticed my OBS saying, like, high encoding warning, which usually means something is eating up the CPU. So I'm going to chalk that up to construct being construct, if I were to guess. I'm sure Kirk was saying something, and I probably missed it about that, because I heard someone saying, just remake it in Unity ASAP, which I don't think that's happening. But yeah. Yeah, so let's see what else we got here. Oh, more feedback, it seems. There we go. Would also be cool if you could blast somebody, some of these walls. Ooh, would be cool if you could blast some of these wall tiles away and change the landscape to get to guys. It'd be a risk-reward thing, removing stuff so you can't hide behind them anymore. That's a neat idea. Have you ever considered destructible environments? Because that could be neat. It doesn't have to be every environment, but just have like certain maybe platforms that are destroyable. You already have doors, so I guess you already have a modifiable environment to some degree. Is that right? Next up, Showcase says, maybe save the whole level shakes when the last life is lost of any player. A local space warp can be substituted for juice factor. That's a good call, because it could really be disorienting for people who are not actually involved. You know, it could be like they're not involved in the case at all, or in the fight at all, and then they see shaking all of a sudden and it throws them off completely. I could see that. I'll give you 10 bits for that. Kirk says, yeah, unfortunately, in multiplayer, slow motion has to be for everybody. Yeah, there's no way around that. I totally agree. That is one thing, is you can't really make it just for you in multiplayer. The single player, maybe, but multiplayer, that wouldn't really work out. BP Outlaws Jeff also says, you like that all the tanks leave tread marks on the ground. That is a nice little piece of juice. So at the end of the match, the whole arena looks like it's been played in. It would be cool to see the walls take some damage, even if they can't be fully destroyed. Like, dirty up the edges as they get hit. Nice little blast marks or something. I like that. Yeah, that's a cool idea. Showcase says spawn points look after death seem to be very good. That they do. New Bruce also says controls look good. Feedback looks good. You like how the tanks get rocked and shot when shooting and pushed backwards. It just looks right. You would tone down the sleep on hit and slow motion effects one way or another, though. You could actually emphasize screen shake more instead, because it's very subtle as it is. I can see that. The screen shake really wasn't over the top for me. I would definitely agree with that. But I can see how it could get over the top if there were too many people, as I said before. But I do agree that the slow sleep on hit, if that is intentional, is just too much. Too much. I definitely don't think I would ever play with the bullet time, especially. That's where it just gets way over the top. New Bruce says, great lighting bloom and particle effects. All nicely unified. Really dig the Inkscape art style. But in this case, he rarely digs the Inkscape art style, but in this case, he really does. It's nice to hear. Would also like to see power-ups spawn in the environment hazards to spice up the matches. Ooh, I like the idea of power-ups. They're already there, but I like the idea of environment, the environment hazards to spice things up too. That'd be really cool. There are already power-ups. You just gotta shoot the barrels and grab them, but they aren't in the other modes. I just realized. So I think give a little advantage to the non-boss people. You know, get a power-up or something to kind of help them fight back. I could see that. Not that they need that much help, because, you know, he's already so slow. But think about it. You could actually speed him up and just give people power-ups to work with or something like that. Or hazards even to hide behind. You know, there's a lot of options there. New Bruce says the triple barrel mega tank is a great mechanic. Do more stuff with non-tank enemies. I would really love to see turrets. I know I said it already, but I would love to see turrets in some maps that are just shooting all over the map and putting bullet patterns out that you need to dodge. I like that idea a lot. Novelspin says you could alternatively have a fixed number of rounds, and whoever has the most wins at the end of the round is the winner. This way the game lengths are more consistent. I could see that. I like that. Yeah, just like have a certain amount of rounds, but then the only downside of that is you can enter a Walking Dead scenario where you have no chance of winning, but you're kind of being forced to play anyway. Maybe at that point you have a mercy ruling, maybe, but something like that could definitely work. As even a separate game mode, I think that could work nicely. And lastly, Sharkbait says on the Mega Boss display life, use the light in the center of the boss stage. Let me try that again. Use the light in the center of the boss change color or start flashing quicker as the boss takes damage. I'm gonna one up on I'm gonna one up you on that shark bait. I'm gonna take your idea and I'm gonna say one thing. You know how when you were capturing, the bar was filling up in the hexagon? How about if instead the bar was the health after that, and every time it gets hit, that bar goes down back to the end, and that would be it. That would be a really cool health bar system that would be super juicy, and it's already there for you. So that should be relatively easy to implement, right? That's what I would recommend. But neat idea, though. I see what you're getting at with the color change, but definitely like the idea of it instead just like going back down, like the bar goes down. I mean, it's already a bar. Use it as that instead of just working off of colors. You can do colors too, though. But yeah, I like that. I like that. We'll take half credit on that. I'm gonna take half the bits. I'm gonna give Sharkbait 5, and I'm gonna take the other 5, and I'm gonna just hold on to them because they're mine, because I earned them. All right, and is that all the feedback we got for this game? It seems as though it is. Good feedback all around, though. Getting that across the first time might be misunderstood. What you could maybe do is like pulsate the light or something when it first when the spawn first happens, like it spawns in and then the light around it just like boom or something like that, just kind of help emphasize on it, you know, some kind of a big emphasis on that. But we're going to go ahead and last call on giveaway. Now, as always, folks, if you're new here, make sure to follow me for obviously Twitch, but also all these lovely social channels. We got all these YouTubes, we got these Twitters, we got the Steam group, which will let you know when I go live through Steam. So that's a good recommendation right there. Oh, Showcase has an idea. Let's hear the idea, Showcase. What do you got, Showcase? I'm going to take a drink while you say it. And as always, I'm also going to toss you guys over to somebody else. So let's go ahead and while he's saying his idea, I'm going to go ahead and see who else is streaming that I can toss you guys over to. When the boss is spawning, have it change and fill to full health. So like have a brief little, like with even a sound effect maybe, just a brief little period where everything pauses and only the bar, like that'd be a good emphasis. If everything in the whole map paused after the boss came out and there was you know, something like, kind of think of it like the old Mega Man bosses. When the boss came in, they did their, whoa! And then once they were in that pose, like, everything would just freeze. And then you get the health bar for the enemy. You know, kind of like that. That would be excellent emphasis. That would get the point across beautifully. Just beautifully. So that would be a good way to go. Definitely recommend 10 out of 10. Good choice. I'm giving you bits for that. Showcase, you're getting 10 bits for that. Mega Man it is. There you go. There you go. And give emphasis on the red to green. Change to give some idea for health. Well, there you go. There you go. I like that. I think that's a good way to go. All right, but I believe we're ready. Last call on giveaway for real this time. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And the winner of Cannabolt is... Hey, Kirknetic! Congratulations. That's 2 developers from tonight who have won. That's awesome. Kirknetic, congrats, bro. I'm going to go ahead and send you a Steam key for your game. Way to go, bro. Ah, sorry, Mariosa. That was, I'm afraid, the last giveaway of the night. But there will always be more giveaways as long as you guys keep giving feedback. I'm thinking about setting it up so only people who give feedback get entered in the giveaways, but I'm worried that's just going to be New Bruce winning every time because he's like the consistent giveaway or the consistent feedback guy. Though I always love all of your feedback from all of you guys. I need to incentivize you guys giving feedback though, aside from bits. But we'll see. We'll figure a system out. We'll figure something out. We can do this, guys, and I'm open to suggestions. But that is our show for the night, everybody. Thank you so much, as always, for coming out for Indie Insights. If you're watching on YouTube, don't forget to subscribe. If you're watching on Twitch, if you're watching on Twitch, don't forget to follow. And if you know I have a Twitter, go follow that. But as always, thank you so much for coming out. We're going to turn this over to another streamer. And we're going to call it a night from there. I'm actually going to turn you guys over to one of my most loyal followers, who is there almost all the time for me since I've started this whole streaming game of mine, who's just recently gotten into streaming himself. We're going to turn it over to none other than Money Mike, ladies and gentlemen. So let's go ahead and, everybody, I want you to drop in here right now. Go over here. Go here right now. Right there. Go there now. And say, hey, Mike, I love you so much. You are my best friend. All those words. At once. Repeatedly. So we'll do that, and we'll show him some love, because he's playing some Skyrim, which was what I cut my teeth on for streaming, so there is that. But that's our show, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you so much for coming out. I love you all so much. Great feedback, great night, and I will see you all tomorrow for a little bit of game development. Take care, everybody.